One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Across the Atlantic in the North American country of the United States lies a fascinating and often misunderstood collective. From its northeastern cities to its midwestern towns to its expansive west, this courageous group of individuals are most notably known for their unwavering patriotism. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of the MAGA people. As we embarked on our journey, we were judicious in taking all necessary precautions. Our media had warned us that these were a vicious, radical, and even deplorable people. Contrary to what we had been told, we found the MAGA people to be warm, loving, and even rather cheeky at times. As we spent time with the MAGA people, we learned that their mantra, "Make America Great Again," is an optimistic belief that the United States will once again prosper by returning to its founding principles of a government by and for the people. Under these beliefs, the MAGA people strive to protect America's Constitution, freedom of its citizens, health of its people, and a yearning to restore the American dream that existed not so long ago. Notice their rather wholesome, familial demeanor. They often talk about their love of family, the importance of truth, and a desire for basic human rights. As they strive to uphold the peace and harmony throughout their communities, the MAGA people are insistent on protecting their borders. However, they are not inherently confrontational, as they advocate for ending the wars and military presence abroad. Further observations reveal that MAGA people come from all walks of life, including farmers and ranchers, family-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, health advocates, blue-collar workers, and military servicemen. And just recently, the MAGA people joined forces with another group, the MAHA people. Together, the MAGA and MAHA have started a movement to make America healthy again. As we departed back to our native land, we couldn't help but reflect on all that the MAGA people had taught us. Once perceived as a dangerous and barbaric group, we found ourselves feeling enlightened by the MAGA's moral, ethical, and honest ways of life. One could only hope that a similar movement would eventually emerge for us.
That was cute. That was put out by RFK Jr.'s vice presidential candidate, Nicole Shanahan. She's been putting out some seriously good content. So welcome to the third show of the evening. Tonight we've got the Donald Trump rally. Looks like I'm checking all the things, the feed. It appears that Tulsi Gabbard is speaking. Let's jump in and listen to what Tulsi said. I like what she has to say often.
For these last 4 years, tout and celebrate how Bidenomics has been great for America. It's really a slap in the face to Americans who are struggling just to pay the bills. It's almost as though they're out of touch with the reality that the American people are living all across the country. It's almost as though they're speaking from an ivory tower, saying how great they are and patting themselves on the back, while people are struggling for crumbs on the streets. This election isn't really about Democrats versus Republicans. This election really isn't about the left.
Everybody let me know if the volume is okay. Let's test the volume. Let me know if you can hear.
Using our government, and the choice is between freedom versus tyranny. The choice is between our ability to live and thrive in a peaceful and prosperous society, or to live in a constant state of war and economic hardship. Our founding fathers said that our government only exists with the consent of the governed. It's up to us to save our country. It's up to us to save our world. Our best hope to do that in this election is doing all we can, not only to vote for Donald Trump, but to make sure your friends and family do the same. This is a must-win state in Nevada, and our mission we have a no-fail mission before us, every single one of us as Americans who cherish peace and freedom and who love our country, to save our country, and we do this on November 5th. Thank you all so much for your support and for all that you're doing. Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha, Tulsi. Love her. Absolutely love her. So I'm glad we got to hear a little bit of her. She didn't get bounced off. She came out. One of the things that I have a problem with some of these Trump rallies is they don't give us basically who the speakers are and the timing or anything. We don't get a program per se. So unless you're actually having to be monitoring it, you don't know who's coming up next. But thankfully, we got her. So I don't know who might be coming up next. If it's somebody of interest that we know, I'll go ahead and push back to them. But other than that, I have a treat for you. Yeah. It's a comedic treat. If I had had some time between the two shows, I would probably have laid down a laugh track. And so what this treat is Kamala Harris decided today would be the day that she would try to basically get out there and talk to the media. Without a script, to take questions. And it went about as well as you think it would go. Got two cuts here. One is a short one where she's doing an impromptu response, and then the second one's an actual interview. Watch this. You'll have some fun.
I am feeling very good about Pennsylvania because there are a lot of people in Pennsylvania who deserve to be seen and heard. That's why I'm here in Johnstown. And I will be continuing to travel around the state to make sure that I'm listening as much as we are talking. And ultimately, I feel very strongly that you've got to earn every vote. And that means spending time with folks in the communities where they live. And so that's why I'm here. We're going to be spending a lot more time in Pennsylvania.
Madam Vice President.
All right, so I want you to continue to notice as this campaign goes, there's something wrong with her. There's absolutely something wrong when she talks. I can't quite figure it out. But she gets the big gulp, like she's almost unsure of what to say, and it's visible. I mean, you can basically see her body go into a contortion. Yeah. Okay, let me spit this one out. It's very weird. It's very weird. I'm not making fun of her. I'm not making light. I'm showing you guys that there's something just not quite right. Don't know what it is. But let's continue. So now she decides to do an interview. It looks to be an off-the-cuff interview, like she's basically just handling this guy's questions. And it's from an ABC affiliate, probably somewhere outside of Johnstown or wherever she was. And you remember the debate. You looked at the debate, you see a woman who was well coiffed, her hair was perfect, great wig that night. Her makeup was perfect. And she just looked like a princess out on the debate stage. She obviously didn't have the Hollywood makeup people when she did this interview. And she had her hair, the different hairpiece on, and she's looking kind of haggard. So let's listen into how this went.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for your time today.
Brian.
Our audience appreciates your time as well.
Of course.
As you know, we're sitting here in a state, and arguably in front of an audience that 54 days from now could decide the outcome of this presidential election.
Yeah.
You hear it more than I do. People want to know more about you and about your specific plans. At the debate the other night, you talked about creating an opportunity economy. I wonder if we could drill down on that a little bit. When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
All right. I'm going to stop when he says the question because I'm going to remind you what the question is, and then you can listen and tell me if she answers the question. So you talk all about this opportunity economy. What are a few things you're actually going to do to lower prices? Tell us.
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard.
Does that sound familiar? It's the exact same answer and speech that she gave at the debate. The exact same answer. She couldn't come up with a simple... Dude, what are you going to do? Well, I was a middle-class kid, but I'll continue.
She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, but a lot of people will relate to this. I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, And I was raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity.
This is what happens when there's no teleprompter and maybe no earpiece. She's completely stuck. She's trying to recall the answers that these people told her to say. Whereas if you actually believed it, you would already know the answer. But she's, okay, what do I say here?
And that we as Americans have a beautiful character. We have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions. So when I talk about building an opportunity economy, it is very much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations and the incredible work ethic of the American people, and creating opportunity for people, for example, to start a small business.
Big swallow.
My mother, worked long hours, and our neighbor helped raise us. We used to call her, I still call her, our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small business owners. I learned who they are from my childhood, and she was...
What small business owner does she know that wants to pay 40% unrealized capital gains tax in her entire life? Since she loves small business owners, please tell me where these small business owners that want to pay, 50, 60, 70% income tax. Love to know.
A community leader, she hired locally, she mentored. Our small businesses are so much a part of the fabric of our communities, not to mention, really, I think, the backbone of America's economy. So my opportunity economy plan includes giving startups a $50,000 tax deduction to start their small business. It used to be $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. But investing in people's innovative ideas and giving them the ability to go for it. Opportunity economy means, look, we don't have enough housing in America. We have a...
Does she realize that you can't earn a tax credit for, till you actually file your taxes? There's nobody who's going to be able to start a business. Go, okay, so I've got $50,000 coming for the government. Mr. Landlord, I want to lease this property. Will you lease it to me? I'm going to pay you back when Kamala gives me that tax credit. Well, you don't get a tax credit unless you're deducting it. It comes off of the revenue that you have to make beforehand. You're not giving anybody anything.
A housing supply shortage. And what that means, in particular for so many younger Americans, the American dream is elusive. It's just actually not attainable. So part of my plan is to work with the private sector and housing developers to give them a tax credit to be able...
Tax credit. Understand, that's after you've generated revenue. You don't pay taxes unless you've generated revenue.
Partner with us as the government to build, and my goal is 3 million new homes by the end of my first term. In addition, to help people who just want to get their foot in the door, literally. And so giving first-time home buyers a $25,000 down payment assistance to be able to just get in the door, and then they will do the work that they need to do to save and to pay that mortgage and to build wealth for themselves and their family. These are some examples of what I mean when I talk about an opportunity economy, and a lot of it has to do with just the community I was raised in and the people that I admired who work hard, and deserve to have, their dreams fulfilled because they're prepared to work for it.
You talk.
Okay, so she went on for a number of minutes there, talked about her family, her friends, and how she was brought up. And I was at this. I asked you how you're going to lower prices. What are you going to do to lower prices, cost? What are you doing? I'm gonna, the flowery unicorn, we're going to have this great thing where people are going to be able to buy houses with, $25,000 down payment. Good luck. It's not ever going to happen. She had a perfect opportunity. She could have said, we're going to, if you ask Trump that, I know what the answer is. We're going to start drilling right now and get the pumps cheaper right off the bat. What that's going to do is allow trucks to get on the road and start, not having to have the cost of the gas or diesel so high. So if the cost for moving goods is cheaper, then you can lower your prices. People are going to be able to work on farms and do different things, blah, 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 blah. What the hell was she talking about? Yeah, we're going to, tax credit. I don't even think she knows what a tax credit is. I worked in entrepreneurial zones, what do they call them, opportunity zones in Florida, where you could buy a property and you would have reduced taxes and tax credits. I know exactly what they are. You go ahead and build here, and at the end of the year, if you're renovating a house, whatever, at the end of that, when you sell it, or later on when you file your taxes, then you can get a tax credit because you've bought the property, you've renovated the property, you're either keeping it as a rental or you're selling it, but in any event, you've made money. Now, instead of owing the government 30, 40, 50%, we're going to give you $50,000 credit so you don't have to pay us that kind of money. That's 12 months from now. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Has no idea.
At the debate and at previous appearances about turning the page on the past, and in fact here today in Johnstown, you're talking about a new way forward. Yeah. I think some people have a question, given maybe your current role as Vice President of the United States, how different you are from Joe Biden. And so I wonder if there are one or two spots, policy areas or approaches where you would say, I'm a different person.
What a stupid question. I'm a woman, I think. I squat to pee. What do you mean, how is she different? What he's trying to get her right now to do is distance herself from Joe. Here's how I'm different. Which means for the last 3.5 years, you must have been a chameleon, because whatever her answer is here, coming, it's going to be BS. So let's hear.
Well, I'm obviously not Joe Biden. And, I offer a new generation of leadership. And so, for example, thinking about developing and creating an opportunity economy where
She right back to the answer that she gave in question number 1. Let me just go ahead and revert back to the other question. We already answered it. We already heard this opportunity economy crap.
it's about investing in areas that really need a lot of work.
I swear I just didn't replay the same thing. She's saying the exact same thing. By the way, the government, not that she understands, the government can't invest in anything. Government doesn't have any money. They take it from us.
And maybe focusing on, again, the aspirations and the dreams, but also just recognizing that at this moment in time, some of the stuff we could take for granted years ago, we can't take for granted anymore. For example,
Whose fault is that?
another plan that I have that is a new approach is to expand the child tax credit to $6,000 for young families.
She just said that. She just said that in the answer to question number 1. She's just repeating herself.
The first year of their child's life, because that is obviously a very critical stage of development of a child. And a lot of young parents need the help to buy a car seat or a crib.
She literally just, I swear to God, I did not cut and paste this. She is giving the exact same answer to the next question. I mean, word for word, tax credit, buy a child seat. She's saying the exact same thing. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'm watching this. This person is a presidential candidate and can't even answer the most simple of questions.
Or clothes for their kids. And so my
big swallow
approach is about new ideas, new policies that are directed at the current moment. And also, to be very honest with you, my focus
Well, you weren't honest before. Right.
is very much in what we need to do over the next 10, 20 years to catch up to the 21st century around, again, capacity, but also challenges.
This guy's nodding his head and he's probably thinking, this is one ignorant, you-know-what. She has no clue what she's talking about. Why did you people have me go out and talk to her?
Crime and public safety are two major issues right at the forefront of voters' minds. In Philadelphia as well, where crime is a significant issue. When we talk about crime, the conversation turns to gun safety as well. And I think you actually probably caught a lot of people off guard, maybe a bit by surprise in the debate the other night when you mentioned that you are a gun owner. I know you said it in 2019 as well. I want to talk about your values on this issue. When it comes to gun ownership, where do you draw the line in America on gun ownership and gun use?
I'm sorry. What do you mean, where does she draw the line? She doesn't have the capacity to draw the line. It's not up to her to, quote, draw the line. This is something specifically that is in this little thing, I know they don't like it, this thing called the Constitution. It is not up to her to, quote, draw the line.
Well, like you said, Brian, I am a gun owner, and Tim Walz, my running mate, is also a gun owner. We're not taking anybody's guns away. I support the Second Amendment, and I support reasonable gun safety laws. Part of my approach to this is I was a career prosecutor for most of my career. I have personally prosecuted homicide cases. I have personally looked at autopsies. I have personally seen what assault weapons do to the human body. And so I feel very strongly that it is consistent with the Second Amendment and your right to own a gun to also say we need an assault weapons ban.
That she's making that line, creating that line. It's something that, she's going to just say, we're going to have an assault weapons ban. Okay.
Literally tools of war. They were literally designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly.
You should send her to, Iran or someplace with an AR-15 and see how functional that rifle is as a, quote, tool of war. See how that works out. I don't think she understands the difference between an automatic, a semi-automatic. She has no clue.
I say we need universal background checks. The majority of NRA members support that. Why? Because it's just reasonable. You just might want to know before someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others.
I don't know. Any of you guys ever see that in the Second Amendment? I'm pretty sure that that's not in there. So I don't care what you think, Kamala. I don't care what you feel. And now you know for sure you shouldn't care what she said when she says she's not coming for it. She just said, I'm coming for it. No, I'm a gun owner too. I'm not coming for your guns, except I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that to make sure that, you don't get it.
You just might want to know.
2 final questions, if I might.
Sure.
On the appeal of the man you were running against, as you drove here today, you likely saw a lot of Trump signs.
Yeah, that's another thing. My wife's got friends up in Pennsylvania, especially Western Pennsylvania. All you see is Trump signs. But the media tells us she's ahead.
He has an historic appeal in this country. And as you are someone running against him and trying to understand that, I wonder how you distill it. What do you understand his appeal to be? And how do you speak to his voters, or maybe people who just share his values but are open to something else?
It's going to be hard for her to answer because she doesn't care what we think. This is a perfect opportunity he set her up well. What do you want to do to appeal to Trump voters?
Based on experience and a lived experience. No. In my heart, I know, in my soul, I know that the vast majority of us as Americans have so much more in common than what separates us. And I also believe that I am accurate in knowing that most Americans want a leader who brings us together as Americans and not someone who professes to be a leader who is trying to have us point our fingers at each other.
So you want to basically eviscerate the Second Amendment. You want to bring in tons and tons and millions of newcomers. You want to make sure that people can do whatever they want with a baby at any time that they basically want. You want to tax us into oblivion. You want to put price controls on food. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more that divides us than that brings us together. It's the opposite of what you're saying. Completely opposite. None of us want to have anything to do with the crap that this woman is saying.
I think people are exhausted with that approach, to be honest with you. I think people want a leader who has...
So you know what this tells me, and it probably tells you? She's never even sat down with Trump voters. She's never even taken the time to say, you know what, let me find out what some of these people actually think. What drives them? What makes them tick? Because if she did, she couldn't possibly have just said what she has said in this interview. This interview is the divisiveness that she's trying to avoid.
Common sense and tries to find common ground. I'm supported by over 200 Republicans who worked for both Presidents Bush, John McCain, and Mitt Romney.
200? Wow. That's incredible. Out of maybe, 80, 90 million, you're supported by 200 Republicans? Oh my God, we're quaking.
I'm supported by the former Vice President Dick Cheney, former Congress member Liz Cheney.
You mean the person who got bounced out of her position, lost by 30 or 40 points because the people in her own state said, nah, we don't want you. And you're touting that? You're actually wearing that as a badge of honor that Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney are behind you? You have no idea. You have never, ever sat down and talked to anybody who's a Trump supporter.
And I think people are more willing now, in light of the hate and division that we see coming out of Donald Trump, to say, hey, let's put country first.
Has she not played a tape of her own rally and the stuff that she says? Has she never watched MSNBC? Has she never turned on CNN and watched Jim Acosta? Has she not watched Morning Joe? Can this woman be more obtuse than she is?
And I think that just makes us stronger and more healthy as a country. To say, look, we can all debate our differences around, various policies, but let's stop with the division. Enough of that. Let's bring everybody together.
And finally, as you introduce yourself to America in a new way, They've heard much of your story at the Democratic National Convention and in that debate earlier this week. If there's one thing that you wish Americans knew about who Kamala Harris is that you don't think they know yet, what would that be?
I don't know. I mean, probably it's not very different from anybody watching.
She's gonna whip out some hot sauce, you know, like Hillary. She's gonna talk like ain't no way tired. What do we need to know something about you? And she's like, I don't know.
Right now, I love my family.
Oh, that's great.
One of my favorite things that I lately have not been able to do is Sunday family dinner. I love to cook. I have incredible friends. My best friend from kindergarten is still my best friend. I think that, I have a career that really, and I said it the other day, you know, as a career prosecutor, I never asked a victim of crime, were they a Republican or a Democrat. The only thing I ever asked them is, are you okay? And I think that's the approach that most Americans want, regardless of who they voted for in the last election, in terms of turning the page and charting a new way forward.
I imagine you're looking forward to...
I can't take anymore. This woman can't help but lie. She wants, her own words, oh no, I don't want to take away anyone's guns. But what I want to do is make it as hard as possible for you to use it and own it. You know, universal background checks, and we're going to check, and we're going to determine whether or not you have anything in the background that's going to, you know, stop you from being able to own a weapon. We're going to do an assault weapons ban. We're going to take away your AR-15 because it shouldn't be in your hands. Man. Oh, and her favorite rapper is stupid. Yeah, that was the other interview she did with the guys from, who was it from? Oh, no, some other woman from CNN. I forget, Angela Rye. Hey, who's your favorite rapper? Tupac. He's dead. Unbelievable. Indian food. That's too funny. So it is 10:03, and we're waiting for him to show up. He's late again. I'm watching to make sure he comes on. She can't help but lie like her running mate, hence why she picked him. Yeah, she had the opportunity. That was her. I can't slow the chat down. It is what it is, man. She had the opportunity to come out and say something that people would have been behind. But you just saw two unscripted, well, they say unscripted because it ended up being scripted because she said the same answer to the two different questions, the exact same thing. She it's like watching a bear at Chuck E. Cheese. The song comes on and you do this and then you do that and you move this. It's the same thing. Now, I understand that we're at a Trump rally tonight, and Trump often tells the same story at these rallies, similar to a band that's on tour. But I guarantee you, if he sat down with a one-on-one interview and somebody said, so tell me how you're going to lower gas prices and lower food prices, he'll be able to tell you. Lying should be her platform. Yeah, and we're the ones who are the divisive ones. Unbelievable. My dog is finally calming down. Why she was on TV. Tell Kai I have Barry Cunny on my phone waiting for the Trump rally. Who's Kai? I don't know. You can tap on the convo and scroll if you need to. Oh, I guess some people are having some it's moving too fast. I'm sorry. I already put it on like 60 seconds. She was on Charlemagne the Idiot and said that. And actually, she was on a podcast with Angela Rye, but it doesn't really matter. She still said it. Bathtub greens. That's yeah. She puts her collard greens in the bathtub. It reminded me instantly of my cousin Vinny. I'm sorry. It just cracked me up when she said that. You guys have watched My Cousin Vinny, and they're talking about making grits. You use the instant grit? No, self-loving Southerner would use instant grits. I don't know anyone who would put their collard greens in the bathtub except maybe Kramer from Seinfeld. She's condescending, absolutely. She never says how she's going to do anything because they haven't told her. She's not going to do anything. She's not going to be in charge of anything. Sit your butt in the chair, come out when we tell you, and then do this. That's all she's going to do. God forbid. God forbid. Giving a $25,000 down payment assistance is the same on forgiving college debt. It passes the burden on to the taxpayer. And then I would bet 99% of America having $25,000 down is not going to get you a house. A house in some place you'd actually want to live. And notice how she said first-time home buyers. So if you've owned a house or own a house now, you can't get it. Only these young kids can get it, which means that they also have to have the income to supply for the mortgage. So how many people do you really think having a $25,000 down payment given to you is going to help these people buy homes? Having been in real estate and bought and sold houses for 20, 25 years, it ain't going to help many people. In fact, we already have a program like that. And I don't know why anyone in the media doesn't call her out. Right now, there's a program called, many of you may know, there's a program called FHA. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can get a loan with 3% down. You can probably buy a home, depending on the zip code, up to about, I don't know, 300,000. 300,000, 10% would be, do the math. But you'd only have to put down 9,000. So you could buy a $300,000 home with FHA with 3% down. What's she trying to do? Does she not even know that the FHA program is out there? That many people avail themselves of FHA? What are you talking about? There is already a program there. So it doesn't make any sense to me how she can even be talking about this. It's 25 grand wouldn't get you into a sugar shack. I know if you showed up to a house down here and told somebody, yeah, I want to buy your house. Yeah, I got 25 grand to put down. So you're getting like a gazillion-dollar mortgage? Because that ain't going to help you. You need to go talk to your mortgage guy. If your mortgage guy wants to give you a $450,000 mortgage with only 25 grand skin in the game, that's between you and your mortgage company. I'm selling this house for $500,000. Have at it. I don't care. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, she wasn't told about that. She definitely wasn't told. All right, so I got 10:08 and nothing yet on the screen, so we're still waiting for him. Yeah, of course she doesn't know about FHA. If she knew about FHA, if the people interviewing her knew about FHA, it would be a simple question. Well, Kamala, why would you need to do that when there's already a government program that's been around forever that gives people the opportunity to buy their houses with only 3% down? And you can have it gifted to you. So if you have a relative or someone that wants to give you a down payment, 3%, again, on a $300,000 house, that's $9,000. You don't need 25. It's already sitting right there. The FHA program, it insures mortgages. I don't know what she's talking about. Yep, less than 20%. Then you got to pay PMI too. These people are being set up for foreclosure. I want to know the people she gives the money to, because I'm going to target their houses and put a big old red circle on the map, and I'll check in about 6 to 12 months to see how these people are doing. Because more than likely, they're going to be behind. Way behind. Yeah, imagine saying I have $25,000 put down in Southern Connecticut. They'll just laugh. Yep, I lived in Connecticut. You are absolutely right. Go to Greenwich and tell someone one of those houses there in Cheshire or something that you want to buy. I want to buy that house. How much is it? About $850. Oh, great. I'm going to give you 25 grand. We're going to buy this house. Ain't up to me. Let me know when you get the other 825 and we're good to go. Go talk to your mortgage. Crazy. We don't need 8 more years up here. Nope. Well, okay, so this is what happened during the other thing when people said they were predatory loans. They're not predatory. If you came to me and you said, I want to buy this house, and I say, okay, I will lend you the money to this house. However, it's going to cost you 9 or 10%. You're going to pay me X $1,000 per month. You're going to pay the insurance. You're going to pay the taxes. Here's the documentation. Go check it out with your attorney. Make sure it's okay. And you come back to me and go, yeah, I'll take it. That's not predatory. That's not predatory at all. And then, 6 months later, if you can't pay it and I boot you out, that's not predatory. That's me collecting on a debt I owe. I heard that term over and over and over during the real estate problem back in 2010, 2009, where people accused me of being a predator and a vulture. No, that's called capitalism. You borrow, you pay, or you get out. I should put that on a flyer. You borrow, you pay, you leave if you don't pay. That's all it is. Barry, that's just so cold. That just seems like it's so hard on people. No, I gave you money with the promise that you would pay somebody back. Now, I'm going to work with you, of course, if you have an issue. We'll see what we can do in that regard. But, once we go through a couple of, forbearance things and we try to help you out and you're still having problems, hey, this isn't going to work, man. Yeah, you're going to have to pack your shit and sorry it didn't work out. That's not predatory. Not at all. How about the unrealized gains? I don't think they're going to have to worry about it. If you're trying to buy a house with 25 grand down, you're probably not going to have to worry about unrealized capital gains, at least not in the first couple years or whatever. 3 million new homes, you say. Here comes the Hunger Games work shacks. And I'm thinking to myself, if you guys ever read Dementia Joe's platform and what he wanted to do, what he wanted to do was remove zoning restrictions. And, like I've told you, we're here in a gated community. And like, you know what? We're going to tear down that house. We're going to put up a tenement. He doesn't want zoning. She hasn't mentioned that yet because nobody's been smart enough to ask her. Hey, Kamala. Yeah, are you looking to do what Joe did and remove zoning restrictions and put tenements up next door to single-family homes? Think about wherever you live. Right now, there is probably a zoning or deed restriction that says the people next door can't be raising chickens next to your house. Well, if she removes all zoning restrictions and there's an empty lot or something next door to you and they decide, you know what, we're going to put up like 6 or 7 or 8 apartment units and we're going to bring in the Haitians. What? Yeah, we're going to bring them in because they need someplace nice to live. They're going to be next to your house. You think that can't happen? That's their plan. That's their exact plan. Wake up. If they get into these cities, towns, and remove zoning restrictions, which would be the first thing, and that anybody next door in that empty lot that you're seeing next door, and they put in a 9 unit apartment building and allow anyone to live in it, what do you think happens to the value of your property? Down the tubes. I don't think enough people are thinking about that. They've said it. Go look it up. Go look it up and see what Joe's plans were for removing zoning restrictions. She's going to do the same thing. They just didn't get around to it yet. But if she gets to enough of these cities where they're putting all these newcomers and they look to remove zoning restrictions and put a tenement right next to your home, guess what? Your value goes way down. Somebody said they did that in Minneapolis. Where is it? Where is that? Raj said they did that in Minneapolis. They removed the restrictions, so buildings are going up right next to the sidewalk. Density right there. It's horrific. Think about it. You've worked forever, decided you're going to buy this house wherever it may be. You climb the ladder to the point where you have someplace that you're living, very nice. And then all of a sudden you find out that they're changing the zoning and you've got this 2-acre lot. Well, you know what? We're going to cut yours down to 1, and then the other half of the lot, maybe it's behind your house where there's extra land or woods, we're going to clear the woods and we're going to put up a 10 unit tenement and let the Haitians stay there. Better be prepared. Just telling you. Vote all the way down to the dog catcher, because all those people all the way down to the zoning department, planning and zoning, wherever you live, they have so much power over your life that you don't even know about. If you ever tried to put up a fence on your property, you got to talk to those people. You ever tried to maybe redo your kitchen? You got to walk in and talk to these people. It's like, okay, we're going to give you a permit, so tell us what you want to do. Well, I want to basically add an addition onto my okay, let's go out and see what kind of setbacks you have off your lot, if we can allow you to put that thing in there. So all the way down to your local planning and zoning commission, if those people get voted in and are given an edict to make sure that this or that happens, boy, Katie bar the door at that point. It would be crazy. Buyers have to know property taxes and insurance go up every single year, which increases your payments. Yep, absolutely. 40 acres off the grid, deep in the mountain. Yeah, I know. I've gone up to the mountains. My wife's family lives up in the Smokies, and there's some beautiful property there. Her dad owned a property that from the road kind of went up the mountain, and then they had a little farm next to it. And over the years, you know, family sold off some of the land here and there, and people bought and built nice houses and everything. So it's very nice. But imagine if what they want to do happens, and they're like, "Wow, you got all this land up here, and you're white. We need to put some diversity up in this mountain community. So this tract of land here, we're going to go ahead and put up the 12-story, 5-story, whatever, full of you know who." And all of a sudden, as they say, there goes the neighborhood. I have a problem with that word allow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is a crazy word. So it's now 10:17. Come on, Trump, you ain't gonna make me stay up to midnight, are you? But it looks like that's where he's going. Our neighborhoods will be crime ridden. Yeah, you won't be able to have your kids walk around. Think about it right now. If you live in a suburb, and you enjoy your kids playing in the yard, bicycling down the street, not a whole lot of traffic. You feel safe. All the neighbors know each other, and then they try that. I'm telling you, go look up Biden or WEF zoning restrict. It's coming. This is part of the stuff they're not telling anybody. You know, once you control the local towns, they don't even have to get it approved. They can just say, here, we're going to pass this new zoning law, and this new zoning law says now we're not going to allow 1-acre lots. All the lots have to be reduced down to 1/4 of an acre, and all the excess land, we're going to do something with eminent domain. I know we got to pay you a little bit. Here's some money, but now we own the rest of this property, so we can put on it whatever we want. Yeah. A Smoky Mountain tenement equals a shooting gallery. Oh yeah, you might see some people getting disappeared. That is for sure. Yeah, f around and find out. Absolutely. And I'm not. Again, I am not being a doomsayer. I'm telling you what I've actually read on then candidate Joe Biden's website. Let me see if I can find it. Zoning. I had a problem here. Hold on one second. Oops. Nope, can't do it. If I do it, I might lose something. But you guys can go ahead and search it yourself and see what's out there. Hey, trolls, your battery-operated boyfriend is... Oh, these trolls are crazy. Does anyone think that a $25,000 payment and 3 million homes being built is not for Americans but for newcomers? That's my gut feeling. Of course it is. Of course it is. What do you think is going to happen to the value of your neighborhood? If you just imagine this, the value of your neighborhood, if all of a sudden there's 100 more pieces of property put into the inventory. People aren't looking far enough into this to understand, except maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say that. You might get a tiny house for 25 grand, but you still have to buy the land, drill for water, septic, etc. Yep. And these people don't want no tiny houses. Your house is big. I want to live like Fred. I want to have a big old house like Fred. Why should I have to live, in a box? What was Kamala doing earlier in an interview? Did she finally answer the question about the economy? Nope. Nope, she didn't. This is what I was saying. An AR-15 isn't a gun of war. It's not automatic, and I bet that NRA isn't with you on that. No, that's what I said. I said, you take that, AR-15 that you think's a weapon of war, drop her off in Gaza or someplace and see how it works. And I'm telling you, she doesn't know the difference. Most of those dem nuts don't know the difference between automatic and semi-automatic. They probably don't even know what bolt action means. We have Rough Raft playing basketball in the street. Yeah, till 2 a.m. Yeah, you'll get that. Oh, then of course you can start getting your pets disappearing, and your new neighbors are having a barbecue. I'm telling you, that's going to be a big one. I think that's going to blow up. A tiny house in Arizona Flagstaff is $200,000 plus. Wow, for a tiny house. So 25 grand is a little over 12% down. You'd have to get an 80 or 90% mortgage. Good luck with that. Newcomers will live in houses. We will live in container boxes. Yeah. Go to RSBI. This channel is depressing. Don't leave. You want me to change the subject? I'm just telling you about real estate and the different things that Kamala Harris wants to do. And if it's striking you as depressing, it should just do the opposite. It should anger you. Now, I understand it's 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. You don't want to be angered. You want everything to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to lay your head down tonight. You're going to have a great night's sleep. Everything's going to be fine. And when Kamala's your president, you'll still have the same safety and security as you do today. Once you take God out, evil steps in very fast. I believe you. I believe that. The only guns in her weird running mate probably have are water guns. I don't see this guy who has all this stolen valor being all of a sudden a big gun owner. Ooh, jazz hands. What else we got here? Security concerned around every event? I don't know. I mean, he's in Vegas. The people are there. He is now he's 24 minutes late. I couldn't tell you why he's always late, but I have to believe at this point it is just security. I'm not understanding why he's late. I don't have the answer. They don't publish it. Thank you very much. Hit the button, people. Hit the button. This button.
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
I don't think Springfield will give Trump a permit for a rally just to be spiteful. I agree with you. I think they will no way, you're not coming here. You're not going to bring all that focus down here. Hi, Barry. Try to buy a house in Boston. I can't even imagine what Boston is like. Having lived in Connecticut, Boston's very, very nice. I would love being next to Fenway and being able to, basically walk down to Lansdowne Street and watch the game. I couldn't even imagine. Let's see here. Waltz can waltz his butt out of this planet. Oh boy, outsiders working up. So I'm looking. Paintballs for Harry has. Okay, so what sucks is that these people stay there and they're restless. And now understand this is Las Vegas, so it's only 7:25 there right now. But he has, as of not yet, walked out there. Paintballs. If you enjoyed this content, more truth and analysis, and I don't mean to get people upset. I just try to tell you the truth. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the answer as best as I know, and if I don't know, I'll go find it out. But I'm sorry. Love your show, Barry. Matt in Pennsylvania. Thank you. Pennsylvania, you got to get your boys together and get this job done. Greeting from the Netherlands. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm from a Boston Reformed masshole. Boston is dirty. My dear Red Sox, though. Hey, Barry, you should one night have Kamala's greatest hits. Man, there's been some, highlight reels of some of the stuff she has said. My town has 150 people in it, not worried about crime. Wow, that's a small town. And I bet you you're packing. Absolutely. 4:25 in Hawaii, so it's mid-afternoon there. Way to go. Boston is very pricey, especially in the Chestnut Hill area. Very nice, very, very nice. Hi, Linda. Thank you very much. Trump will be on, and when? Did they just announce it somewhere? He's going to be on in 35 minutes? What the hey? That's crazy. So he's not coming on until 11 now? I hope that's just. I hope that you're just saying that. I said this in one of my videos like two days ago. That's where everybody has to be right now. You got to be at a position just like the movie Network, where you're just completely mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. The angrier you are, the more vocal you should be, and the more people around you should be, and get them out to vote. You don't want this woman being president, because it's obvious she's a stand-in. She is going to be there so other puppet masters can do what they want. She's not going to be running anything. She doesn't have a clue about anything. None. That's not why she's there. They have found a worse Dementia Joe. Dementia Joe was in the Senate and in politics for 40, 50 years. Good gosh. This woman doesn't know anything. Might as hell locked and loaded. Stay locked and loaded. Let's see what else we got here. I've been like that for weeks now. And it's going to escalate. Whatever Trump is going to be dropping relatively soon, I can see people beginning to freak out. I told people earlier this evening, about the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court came out and said, nope, not going to have these funky ballots anymore. You got to have clean ballots. You got to be able to trace them. We need to know where they came from, or else we're not counting them. So just with that, you know that thousands upon thousands of ballots aren't going to be counted in Pennsylvania, and they're going to freak out. It's 11:29 p.m. here in Florida. What part of Florida are you in? I'm in Boca, and it's only 10:28. 11. John, where are you? I can't even imagine where you might be where it's 11:29. I understand what unrealized capital gains means: reduced profits on investment and an interest-free loan for the government, while the investor bears the risk and the government has no risk in the investment. I loathe when they say, and all these politicians say, we're going to invest. Dude, you ain't got any money. You're not investing anything. You're taking money from us and spending it. You're not getting a return. The government's not a for-profit agency, so you can't possibly invest. It's a misnomer. You're spending. You're trying to basically gaslight people into thinking that it's not just an overspending government. You're spending money. If you spend $1,000 on the toilet, you're not investing in that toilet. You're spending on it. Stop telling us you're investing our money. I don't want the government investing our money. That should be first and foremost the thing we need to take away from them. You do not get to have our money on loan for a year and then get us to think that it's some sort of refund. Why do you suppose Trump's daughter here in California never comes out and speaks about him or does rallies out here for him? If I were to guess, because we're seeing basically he doesn't get his family with him on most of the events. But I would think if you're talking about Tiffany or somebody else, probably security. Probably just want to keep these people secure so that they're not in the public eye. That's what I would think. Keep them private. Keep them private. They're civilians. Yes. Oh, Fort Pierce, right above us. 10:30 here in Fort Pierce. Investments by the government means they take other people's money to give to others. Yep, absolutely. Wow, Michael, 329 here watching from Ireland. Thank you very much. He posted 33 minutes ago. He had just landed, so that's where he got. Why? Las Vegas to, he was in Los Angeles this morning. Oh, I know what happened. He was at that fundraiser and that dinner, getting those checks in Los Angeles. And so probably, who knows, he got stuck on the 405 or wherever he had to go and probably got stuck because it's a short flight to Vegas. So not really sure what we're going on here. Shout out from Fort Lauderdale. What's going on? Let's see here. Haitians are really hardworking, unlike Venezuela. I've said it many, many, many times. I will say it again so you guys know. I've known, employed many, 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 many Haitian people. I do not have any problem with the Haitians or any other immigrant has come through the front door. I have no problem with any immigrant who works hard to assimilate into America. No problem whatsoever. I live in South Florida. It is a melting pot. We've got Cubans, we have Mexicans, we have blacks, we have white. It is a true melting pot. But the people that they're bringing in are not being shown to have any idea about assimilation and understanding what it means to be a productive American. That's the problem. Big difference. And I want people to understand that there should be no. I think the Biden administration today, when he was talking about it, said Karine Jean-Pierre, she's Haitian, she's a great Haitian. It's fine. We're not talking about her. She's a working, producing American. We don't like where she works. We don't like what she does, but she is a working, producing American, I think now. If not, she's a producing immigrant that came here. She's not out there doing the stuff that these people in Springfield are doing. And I don't know if you guys saw the video with, what's his name? John Legend. Talk about people being obtuse. This guy's gazillionaire. He's got a big old mansion in Beverly Hills, right? And he and his wife, she's tweeted some really funky stuff. And he's telling people, I was born in Springfield. You have to understand, it's okay to let these people in. It's okay, they're going to do better for the community. Like, well, why don't you bring them out to your house? You got the big mansion in L.A. and Beverly Hills. Bring them out there. I hate when these people do all this virtue signaling and never actually do it the truthful way. The people in Martha's Vineyards, when they all got flown up, they're like, oh, it's so nice, leave. Yeah, just get out of here. Hate that stuff. Hate that stuff. Very sorry I keep repeating. Trump campaign sent out a text tonight that said his announcement tonight will shake the corrupt establishment to its core. Ooh, is it tonight? Let me see if I can find that. Oh man, where was it posted? Was it on Truth Social? Was it, I didn't get a text. I don't know if I got an email. I would love to see that. I saw the checkmate. You guys probably saw that. Let me see if I can see anything on Truth Social. If I can see it on Truth Social, then we can talk about it. Hold on, trying to find it. Nope, don't see it. Talked about the mail-in ballots. Landing in Vegas will be at the Expo at World Market Center soon. That was 39 minutes ago. Join me live. See you soon. Tune in. Don't miss the rally. Going on. I don't see. Nope. Then 4 hours ago. I would love to know if you have a copy of that. Let's go ahead and put it up. What's wrong with her neck? She's a living hack. I think you're talking about Kamala at this point. Exactly. Shake Garland for starters. Get rid of him. I turned it off. If you're behind, it's gone. I just wanted to show people. It would give some filler here. Didn't know we would be talking for 40 minutes with another 20 minutes to go. Do you think Obama brought in Kamala to dumb down America? I don't know how much he had to do it. There was a story, I don't know if you've seen it. There was a story in Breitbart this morning where the word is that Michelle will not be campaigning for Kamala. Why? I don't know. But that's a story that came out today. So I'm not sure how much they're involved with her either. Not really sure. Oh my God, he better be careful. Is he still protected by bulletproof glass? No, the bulletproof glass was only on the outside events. This is inside. So I'm pretty sure what they have much better security on the inside events. If you've never been to a Trump rally, it takes hours to get in to an indoor event, even longer than it takes for an outdoor event. And they basically strip search you like you're getting on an airplane. Yeah, I couldn't believe this. People asking me, did you see the clip of Don Lemon on Melania's distressed feelings? And he was laughing at her. This woman almost had her husband assassinated on live television, and he was laughing at her because she says she wants to get to the bottom of it. Which, by the way, there's some really funky stuff coming out about that. That's starting to bubble up as well. On top of everything else, that's starting to bubble up. Let me see if I can find some of these things. I've got something hanging on my keyboard which I can't get to. So let me just move this. No, I can't. I have a light that sits up there that fell off, so I can't do that. Don't you mean Big Mike won't campaign? I don't know why. I don't know why she's like, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. They did Joe dirty. He wants to become a whistleblower. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Don Lemon is a total jerk. I cannot believe he was making fun of a woman who basically at this point was just saying, hey, listen, we need to look into what's been happening. I'm looking to see if there's anything on X in regards to if anything new came out about what's been going on. I don't see anything yet. I'm so tired of hearing this stuff about all this stuff that they're putting out there about Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer. How stupid is all of that? I'm looking to see if there's anything coming out. Don't see anything yet. Oh gosh, if this is true, we're gonna. If this is true, what I'm reading right now, we're gonna. It says now it would be all over the place. I'm not gonna talk about that. Well, right now, no, I don't see anything about the text talking about anything about what you were saying. So I don't see that. So I can't post anything about it. Do not know if texts are going through. Hello from Texas. Sometimes things are going so quickly that it's very hard. So, Barry, have you seen the reverse speech analysis video from David Oates on Kim Cheadle? No, I have not. That would be very interesting. Send me a link. I would love to see that. Huge announcement, high security risk. I'm searching and I don't see anything even referencing the huge announcement. I do know that he did say that something was going to drop, but do I have that here? Oh, here, let me show you this. I showed it in the last video earlier in the evening. He he posted that on True Social, and he put that out there, and all that's the entirety of the message. That was it. That's what he put out there. Y'all know what that means? I asked some people earlier if they knew what that means. You know what that means? That means checkmate. That is the symbol for checkmate. And that's all was in the entirety of his post. And people went, ooh, what's that mean? What are you about to drop? Checkmate? Did he find out that this whistleblower? I've been looking all day for about this whistleblower. I can't find it. Here. Yeah, somebody, yeah, bingo. Real Mendez said it right there. Checkmate. That's huge. So I don't know. Don't know if he's got something coming, but it would be kind of odd for someone to post something like that without there being some sort of big announcement coming. I don't know if they're going to talk about this whistleblower. I haven't seen anything about the whistleblower. In case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there is supposedly a whistleblower who is coming forward, who's filing a legal affidavit, swearing to it as being true, talking about ABC giving Kamala Harris the questions in advance of the debate, as well as telling her they would fact check Trump aggressively, but not fact check her at all. So we've all been waiting to see if that affidavit actually hits. That would be huge. Let's see here. What do we got here? Oprah. Oh, maybe. Please vote they will cheat so bad. Yes, remember that. Drop it like it's hot, Trump. I hope he does. Checkmate. I didn't realize it was used so much in politics. I didn't know either. I didn't know, boss lady. I just saw the tweet or post rather. These things all get back. Have you seen what Okay, earlier today I had the Chat GPT analysis. There's a gentleman, a young black gentleman, who took the transcript of the debate. He took the entirety of the transcript, fed it into Chat GPT, the AI system, and had Chat GPT do an analysis on bias. And it came back that it was extreme. It's in my earlier video today if you want to check it out. It's incredible. Let's see here. By the whistleblower saying she had the earpieces on. Would love to know if that was true. I mean, think about that. If she was wearing an earpiece, if she got the questions, if they agreed to go after Trump with a fact check and not her, how can that be anything but election interference at that point? It would have to be. So we're at 10:43, and the people seem to be cheering, but they may just be making noise. Don't see anything happening as of yet. What? Security update coming. We'll advise. What you got, man? What you got, William? You hearing something? Let me know. Well, is it really true that Oprah bought up the burnt land in Lahaina real cheap? I don't know. I cannot confirm it. But I have heard the exact same thing, that she and other rich people did buy up some of that land. I can't confirm it. I don't know. I don't have access to the land records in Lahaina. But that is what they've been saying. In the video you played, she did have the same earrings on. I did say that as well. Let's see here. The Alex Jones show said that Alex had GPT AI was creepy. If you've never used AI and you're not familiar with what it can do, it can seem really creepy. I will admit that. Hold on. Got another notice here. Security update pending, Barry. I'll email you. You don't want to post it, huh? Okay, so I use this for when I do contests, but you can go ahead and email me whatever it is that you want. I'll look for it. Go ahead and send it to me now, and if I'll go ahead and post it. But just go ahead and send it to me. Wow, I see more people emailing me. What's going on? What is going on out there? What are you guys hearing? Would love to know what the heck is happening. All right, so I'm going to have to check my email and see what these guys are talking about. I know I did see this earlier, that Senator Blumenthal said it's going to shock Americans when they find out. So it's possible at this point that they have found out that the government was actually involved. Gary said, all right, so here's what was posted. I've got a huge announcement coming when I take the stage in a few hours, one that strikes fear in the heart of the deep state enemies. Whoa. Whoa. That is wow. Wow. Telling you, that's why they fear this guy. It's not because of divisiveness. It's not because of racism. It's not because of all the stuff that they say. It's because he, coupled with RFK Jr., coupled with Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard, they're going to go after the deep state. And so, of course, the deep state's going to fight back. This stuff with Richard Blumenthal, that's just downright frightening. I mean, absolutely frightening. Need arrest if true. Right. So what I did here is that there were people on his security detail in Butler who were not, and when I say not supposed to be there, they weren't qualified. They weren't. They gave him basically the Z team, a bunch of people who didn't know what the hell they were doing. But that's not a big drop. Is this why? That's exactly why 200 rhinos signed the letter. That's specifically why George Bush and Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, they are terrified. When they say he's a threat to democracy, what they mean is he's a threat to them. He's a threat to their pocketbook. What's the name of the company that Cheney used to run or whatever? Halliburton. They make money off of the war. They make huge money off of the war. They don't want to see that gravy train stop. And just so you know, it's both parties. There are people who are getting paid on both parties, Democrats and Republicans. They don't want that gravy train to end. They've been selling out America for decades. No, they don't want that going through. Let me see here. Ushers, not defenders. Yeah, they were Homeland Security people. They weren't even Secret Service. Wow. This could be absolutely crazy. Yeah, I just read it off. You got the same thing. They can't buy them up. They can't do anything at this point. Richard Blumenthal is indeed a full-blown Democrat, and he's from the state of Connecticut. And for him to say that it's bad, it will shock Americans, it must be really flippin' bad. I mean, must be just like terrifyingly bad. Let me see if anything else comes in. I'm getting a couple of you guys are saying it. In an email, Trump warns there's a big announcement coming tonight, and that's the email. Yeah, I'm getting on the Trump Force One. Head to my Las Vegas rally. I'll keep this short. I've got a huge announcement coming when I take the stage in a few hours, one that strikes fear into the hearts of our deep state enemies. Uh-oh, we have a sighting. We have a sighting. He's coming out to the stage right now. I can't really show it until such time. Well, I can show it and cut the music because I'm sure they're playing Lee Greenwood, so I got to do this quickly. USA! Yeah, there we go. All right, so you can see him walking out right now. As soon as they're done with the music, I'll cut right back to him. Well, he's looking ready to deliver something here. Yeah, YouTube doesn't allow me to play the music, so I have to cut it off while we're waiting in this regards. But as soon as he takes the podium, does his little dance, and then gets up there, I obviously turn on the mic so you guys can all hear. As you can see, he's clapping, greeting people. We're almost ready. And then he stands there while the music is playing. I can't wait to hear what this big announcement may be. Kind of scary when you think about it. I'm waiting for the music to go away. I'll just leave it. You guys can see him taking in the sights, all the applause. Everybody's waiting for him. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stage. Yes, Trump is on stage right now. You can see that. And let me do this. Okay. I'd rather have this one playing than that one. Let me just make
and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt.
Okay, oops, got caught. It's funny what's going to happen, just to let you know. YouTube's going to give me a warning saying, you played 3 seconds of that song. We can't have that. We can't possibly have that. Army Rangers should be protecting him at this point. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, Mr. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. Hello, Las Vegas. Hello, Las Vegas. I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are.
Please let me know if the volume is okay.
As you all saw 3 months ago, we had a monumental victory. We had a beautiful victory 3 months ago. And then a couple of nights ago, we had an even better victory. We took her on, Comrade Kamala Harris. We took her on and we did really well. Every poll had us up like 90, 92, 87. We actually had one 92-6. Which sounds about right, because now today Rasmussen just came up and we were 6 points up, so it's pretty good. We dismantled her terrible record, we exposed her radical liberal agenda, and we laid out our plans to quite simply make America great again. Meanwhile, Comrade Kamala Harris, comrade.
Sometimes the feed isn't up to speed, so there's nothing I can do about that.
Platitudes with no plans, no policies, and no solutions whatsoever. She doesn't have a clue. The only thing she had was a lot of people trying to push her over the line. It's not happening. We're not going to let this country be destroyed. It's already in deep trouble. She offered American voters nothing but falsehoods and hoaxes while our country is being destroyed. Our country is being destroyed. Do we know that? Not going to be for long. Honestly, November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. I really believe that. And today she had a terrible interview. Did you see the interview she had today? She can't talk. She can't talk. She can't talk without maybe getting the answers. What's the story with that? Did she get the questions? Do you think? So I hear she got the questions, and I also heard she had something in the ear, a little something in the ear. No, Kamala, do this. Say it this way, Kamala. Okay, be quiet. Too many people watching. She had a terrible interview today with the Philadelphia TV station, a big word salad. She just kept talking. She had no idea what the hell she was saying. She reminded me of Sleepy Joe Biden. But people said that I was angry during the debate. And I said, why wouldn't I be angry? Of course I'm angry. We got 21 million people that came into our country, invading our communities, invading our cities and our towns, and destroying our country. I'm angry about Venezuelan gangs taking over Aurora, Colorado. And I'm angry about illegal Haitian migrants taking over Springfield, Ohio. You see that mess, don't you? And the Colorado governor is petrified. He's scared. He doesn't know what to do. The Venezuelans are attacking my state, he said. The Venezuelans have big AK-47 Supremes. There's a Supreme. Where the hell do they get these guns? Our soldiers can't get these guns. They're taking over our country from within. I mean, can you believe it? Then we got Kamala. I'm angry about young American girls being raped and murdered by savage criminal aliens that come into our country very easily but very illegally. I'm angry about rampant inflation destroying our middle class, and the American people are damn angry too. We're all angry. Country's being wrecked. That's why 53 days from now we're going to tell Harris that we've had enough. Our country can't take it anymore. Comrade Kamala Harris, you're fired. You're fired. Get out. Get out. Get the hell out of here. She shouldn't be there anyway. She got no votes. She's a threat to democracy, right? That's what they say. They always say, Donald Trump, you know, it's a soundbite for them. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. No, she's a threat. Think of it. Joe Biden had 14 million votes. She had none. She was the first one that failed. Out of all the candidates, I think they had 22. She didn't even make it to Iowa, the first stop. Didn't even make it during the nominating process. She didn't make it to Iowa. She had no votes and she got it, but we're running against her. I think, based on what I'm seeing in the polls, I think she could be just as easy as him. He was down so much. He was down 21 points. And they went to him and they said, get out of here, Sleepy Joe, you're going to lose. I'm not going to get out. I won't do it. He held on for about a day. Did you see the hat, though, the other day? Right? He walked into a great, beautiful area in Pennsylvania. I was there because that's where one of the planes came down. You know that? It was incredible. The reverence that we had for that area. It's horrible. But the bravery of those people on that plane. But the fire station, which was so brave also, and they did a fantastic job. And the place was stacked with every family member. And Joe went in first, and nobody, they didn't even, you could hear a pin drop. And then one of the firemen said, put the hat on. Put it on. And I thought he was a little bit rough, Cash. I thought he was a little bit rough, actually. You know, we're talking to the President of the United States, right? But this fireman, rough guy, obviously a Trump fan. So they throw him a Make America Great. Look at him. Look at all of them. Oh, I love your hat. Stand up. Stand up. Look at him. No, stand up right there. Turn around. Show the cameras. I love that. I love that hat. You're going to have to give me that hat later. I'm going to have to make it, okay? Would you do that? You're so cute. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. That could be the end of my political career. We're not allowed to say that anymore. That's a great hat.
Oops. Oops.
And then the guy goes, put it on. Put it on.
Not
now.
sure what happened there.
Okay. And he puts it on, and the rest is history. It was so good. Right? The rest is history. Sleepy Joe. What's better, Sleepy Joe or Crooked Joe? Okay, ready? A free poll. You know, it's Friday night. We have a lot of time, right? Do you think later on, should I do the snake or not? People love the snake. It's so appropriate. Okay, you ready? A quick poll. Ready? I'll go Sleepy Joe, and then I'll go Crooked Joe. Ready? Who likes Sleepy Joe? Who likes Crooked Joe? All right, thank you. I just saved $200,000 with these phony pollsters. They don't even go out and check. They just give you a number. Sir, that'll cost $250,000.
So the feed must be messed up. I've had to change to another browser, and now this one is on RSBN, and the sound's not doing well.
But they just put down a number. Let's see, Trump is ahead 50 to 46. No, that was something. And then, by the way, 2 hours later, I walked into the same firehouse. The place went crazy. Right? The most preposterous part of Kamala, and how do you like the name Comrade Kamala Harris? You know why? It indicates that she is a communist, comrade. Because she is. You know why? It indicates that she is a communist, comrade. Because she is. You know that she's further left than crazy Bernie Sanders. Can you believe it? He's crazy, that guy. He's almost as crazy as Nancy Pelosi. She's nuts. The most preposterous part of Kamala's debate performance was when she tried to gaslight the public into believing she never supported the radical left policies that she has championed for her entire career. Do you mind if we roll a tape, please? Let's roll a tape. Go ahead.
Gun owners, we're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
I support buybacks.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking.
Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office, adding the United States to the list of countries who have banned this devastating practice?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as Vice President, private health care options.
You support the Medicare for All bill, I think initially co-sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders. You're also a co-sponsor onto. I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance.
You don't have to go through the process of...
They don't get to keep it?
Well, listen, the idea is that everyone gets access to medical care. And you don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company.
Oh, God.
Your insurance company is going to cover this? Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Everything is a lie, including the fact that she never worked at McDonald's. She lied about that, too. I told that to one of the fake news people 2 days ago. I was doing a news conference and the fake news was there. I said, you people all said she worked beautifully at McDonald's. It turned out it was a lie. Will you admit it? Will you admit it? I said. And they said, oh, yeah, we'll admit they never did. They don't want to. They're protecting her. I don't know why.
Again, that's not me. I'm trying to switch back and forth between 3 feeds.
Zero. You know what's going to happen? They'll never be fracking in Pennsylvania. They're going to take away your guns. You saw that. They're going to take away your guns. She's going to take away your guns. Would anybody like to give up their gun? Would anybody like to voluntarily, with great liberal fanfare, say, I'd like to give up my weapon so that I can be shot in my house? But she's clearly not well. Take a look at these videos. Look at this real fast.
And being a bitch.
Turn that off.
Thank you, 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 please, thank you, please, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Thank you.
I'm like a
Please.
Hollywood
Thank you
director
so
back
very
here
much.
trying to find the right feed.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's get to business. Let's get to business.
She said thank you 38 times. And at the end, it was thank you, thank you, thank you. I said, what's wrong with her? I say thank you, and you wait a couple of seconds. You say thank you again. You say, come on, let's get going. Thank you one more time. She's 38 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's something wrong with her, okay? Or she would say, she's weird. She's weird. You know, that was another soundbite they made up about JD and myself. No, we're solid people. We're very solid. We're very solid people. We're not weird. They're weird. How about the vice president? How about the vice president? Now he's weird. Despite all of these flagrant lies and the many other hoaxes she spread, the fake news moderators did not check her out. They didn't check what Comrade Kamala Harris, they didn't, do you see the lies that she was making up? Project 2025, I've said 100 times, I know nothing about it. I had nothing to do. She goes out with a commercial, I support this, I support that, I support 25, all lies. And lies that she knows are lies that have been debunked, as they say in the crazy news organization. Hey, that's a lot of press we have back there. That's a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fake news. Meanwhile, every time they interfered to fact check me, it turned out that they were wrong and Trump was right. For example, a big one, I said that crime was up massively. I didn't want to go into the details. What's the purpose? Crime was up massively. And David Muir, you know, he's another one who doesn't have a clue, you know. And his hair was much better 5 years ago, I can tell you. But David Muir barged in to claim that, sir, crime was down. And he said, quote, President Trump, as you know, the FBI, says overall violent crime is coming down in this country. Now, you don't have to see this. You see what the hell is happening with crime? Who would say it was down, even if, without looking? He reprimanded me for saying the crime was up. And you know, somebody in our government at a very high level likes me, and they released the real numbers. It said, yet in breaking news, just yesterday night, the premier statistical agency at the Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Statistics, released brand new data showing that since Kamala Harris took office, violent crime nationwide is up 40%, rape is up 42%, car theft is up 42%, robberies are up 67%, aggravated assaults are up much more than 55%, and violent crime with a weapon is up 56%. Violent attacks on strangers, I never heard of that one, is up 61+%. So David Muir owes me an apology. Do you agree? She lies about everything, just like she lied about jobs. They said they had 818,000 jobs, and it was a fraud. They didn't. They just wanted to pad the numbers before the election. But fortunately, we had a leaker or a whistleblower. I don't care which. I love that person. I'm not sure who it is. And that person said that it was a total fraud. They wanted to announce the correction. They were going to do a correction right after the election. They were going to do it on the 10th of November. They just wanted to get by the election. So they fraudulently added 818,000 jobs. Isn't that unbelievable? And they announced, and yesterday they announced, yes, it was a slip up, 818,000. Because their job numbers were looking like, where the hell did all those jobs come from? You know where they came from? Somebody's sick brain, that's where they came from. Under Kamala Harris and the communist left, our country is under invasion. We are under invasion just like it was an army. Except in many ways it's more difficult because they don't wear a uniform. You don't know who the hell to go after. Millions and millions of illegal aliens are coming in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and many terrorists at numbers that we've never seen before. Terrorists are coming into our country. If you look at 2019, and I disagree with this, really, even though it's good for me, they said in the year 2019, not one terrorist, there's an official definition of that, but you don't want to hear it. Not one terrorist came in. That was my year, 2019, one of my years. Not one terrorist came into a country. Now, I sort of can't believe that, but it was pretty close. It was pretty close. And now we have thousands and thousands and thousands of terrorists coming into our country. They're coming in like from parts unknown. This will not end well unless Donald J. Trump is elected the 47th president of the United States. Right? Not going to end well. Right? Because I am your border president. From now on, I want to be your border president. I did a great job in 2016 on the border, and we solved the problem very, very quickly. A beautiful job. And in 2020, when I got millions of more votes than I did in 2016, by the way, we did much better in 2020. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But my people would say, sir, they don't want to hear about the border. I said, I want to talk about it. I did a great job. They don't care. You've solved the border. It was solved. It was beautiful. The difference is that this border crisis is 20 times worse than it was in 2016. But I'll get it solved. I'll get it solved fast, and we'll get back to making our country strong again. And I only want to be addressed no longer as Mr. President, Mr. Border President, sir. Because we got to get this border fixed. We got people coming in that have never even dreamed about being in this country. And they're coming in totally unchecked. Nobody has any idea where the hell they come from. Kamala would be the president of invasion, and I will be the president of making this country stronger, better, more beautiful, bigger, more powerful, wealthier, safer than ever before. I will protect our country. She will surrender our country. She has already let in 21 million people. And if she gets 4 more years in America, our country will be obliterated. The 21 million people will be hundreds of millions of people will come in from all over the world, which is where they're coming from now. You'll have 150 million more people. You won't have a country anymore. You're pretty close to not having one. You better hope I get elected. You better go out. You'll have a country back soon. You'll have your country back soon. Not only is Harris, do you ever notice when you say Harris, nobody knows who the hell you're talking about? You ever? No, nobody has any idea. Harris. Hey, where's Harris? They know Kamala. They know Kambabla. That was the nickname I used for a while, but I don't use it anymore because everyone thought I was just mispronouncing her name. I wasn't. Kambabla. But no, comrade is the best because it says she's a Marxist, communist, fascist person, which is, she's a fascist. Who the hell ever thought would be voting for a communist for president? She is. Look at her record. Do you know that she wanted to have transgender surgery on illegal aliens that came into our country that were in jail? Can you believe it? She wanted. Did anyone know that? I would say that's quite a liberal thing to do, don't you think? Where the hell did she come from? Honestly, I am not a big fan of Crooked Joe, but he would have been better than her. He really would have been. They didn't want her. She was the last one on the list. You know, they had 22 people they were looking at. And the people voted. She was the last one on the list, and I'm running against her. It should be a good thing. Look, based on, that's sort of like a poll. It should be a good thing. But it's so unfair to our country. And it's unfair to Crooked Joe, you know? I feel badly. Does anybody feel badly for Joe? No? He was the worst president in the history of our country. She is the worst vice president in the history of our country. And the only good thing, he's an old man now, and I'm sure he's watching right now, but Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, his administration looks totally brilliant by comparison. So he no longer has to go down as the worst president because this group, you know, I used to say, and I used to say it a lot, but if you took the 10 worst presidents or administrations, but 10 worst presidents in the history of our country and added them up, they would not have done the damage that this one presidency has done to our country. What's happened to our country, we're a laughing stock all over the world. You think President Xi is enjoying it? But he won't be enjoying it for long. Not only is Kamala allowing millions of illegal aliens to stampede across our border, but she is flying them in from other countries. You know, when she said a couple of months ago they put on some extra little brakes to make their numbers look a little bit better, but they forgot to tell you that they're flying in hundreds of thousands of people right over the border. And I was with the Art Del Cudo, I was with the people from Border Patrol today, and they said, no, those numbers don't register. In other words, they don't count when they fly them in. They're flying them in beautiful jet planes. They're flying them to Idaho potatoes. I don't think they want them. They're flying them to Iowa. They're flying them all over. You know, now we have only border states, okay? Who would believe this? They're saying, no, we want to stop them. But they're flying them in by the tens of thousands. On big, beautiful jet airplanes, they're flying them in. These people are sick, and they're destroying our country. You got to get out and vote, and make sure they're not cheating. Make sure your vote counts. Over the past 3.5 years, Harris and Biden have resettled 500,000 illegal migrants from Haiti, including over 200,000 that she has flown into the United States by very beautiful airplanes. I'd like to have one so nice. And deposited them into American communities all over the country. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reported yesterday, quote, a Venezuelan gang is expanding its deadly reach into the United States. They've become real estate developers like I used to be. They're taking over apartment houses in Colorado. The story begins, U.S. law enforcement officials have watched with alarm the spread of Venezuela gangs known as dismembering rivals. They're dismembering rivals from Chile and from Colombia. They're dismembering. You know what that means? Cutting them up. They're cutting them up. How the hell did we allow this to happen to our country? Likewise, the New York Times, or as I call it, the failing New York Times. It's a failing paper. The Washington Post is a failing paper. Will you fail already? Just get out. They're such phonies. If the New York Times writes a story about you, just go the opposite. If you go the exact opposite, it'll be very accurate. The failing New York Times today reports this vicious Venezuela prison gang is, quote, SNCC. It sneaked into the United States among the millions of migrants who have crossed the border and is peddling drugs, guns, and women across the 50 states from urban centers like New York and Chicago to Florida beaches and once tranquil middle America. In Colorado, the gang even got a green light to shoot the cops. They were given an okay to shoot the cops. How about that? I just met a lot of great policemen backstage and policewomen backstage. That's not acceptable. But they were given an okay. When I return to the White House, I will launch a special task force of elite federal law enforcement and charge them with crushing and eliminating every foreign gang and organized crime network that is conquering our country. They're conquering our country. We will deploy ICE, DHS, and other federal officials to go in and liberate Aurora. Can you believe I'm saying this? Can you believe I have to say this? We are going to liberate parts of our country. Let's go back another 300 years. We are going to liberate our country. Did you ever think I would be standing here? It's a hell of a way to get elected. The only good thing about what they're doing is it's great for the guy that happens to be running against these idiots, okay? It's the only thing. That's the only benefit. That's the only benefit I can see, is running against them is a very good thing. But last week, a high school girl in Virginia was walking to the bus stop when an illegal alien from Kamala Harris, caught and released into the United States and let go by her, drove up behind her pretending to be a police officer. He said, "I'm a police officer." He wasn't. The predator got out, grabbed her, and forced her into his car. She had to escape by throwing herself out of a moving vehicle, believing she would be raped or murdered. She was very badly hurt. Also this month, an illegal alien who entered our country through Kamala's phone app. Could you believe? We have phone apps. You know where they go to? The cartels. The cartels have apps where they call in so they know where to deposit their illegal people, and they're making billions. They'll be in the Forbes 400 along with your friend, me. I'll say, I don't believe it. This guy, he doesn't speak English. He can't read or write. And he's worth $10 billion. That tells you something, doesn't it? If they put all of these people into the Forbes 400, used to be a big list. I don't know if it's a big list. I think Forbes is failing pretty badly now. I haven't heard about it in a long time, but they'd occupy a large section of the list. But they have an app where they call so they know where they can illegally drop these people. An illegal alien who entered our country through Kamala's phone app was doing things that nobody believed. He was arrested for the murder of a 25-year-old woman in Tennessee, and in August, an illegal alien from Honduras, a beautiful place, who was previously deported under the Trump administration, was arrested for stabbing a young, beautiful 14-year-old girl with a butcher knife as she watched her brother's baseball game. He was just doing a horrible thing. Who would like to hear the snake? Because I have nothing but time tonight. Got a lot of time. They love the snake. You know why? It's something that's highly accurate. It was a song many years ago, and we reworked it a little bit, and it became something that people like. But it's very accurate in terms of what it represents for this country, and very sad, too, I will tell you. So let's go. You ready? On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried. "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," cried the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hugged and kissed him brightly. The work that night had gone. she found the pretty snake she had taken in, had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake, take me in, O tender woman, cried that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she sighed. But if I hadn't taken you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Surprise. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, sighed the reptile with a grin. You know damn well I was a snake before you took me in. And that's the end of the story. And I had to do that sucker by memory because there's no light up here. As much light, I'm dark. It's like dark. I had two problems. It's dark, and the print on that thing is so light you couldn't read it, so I did the best I could, but not bad, right? I couldn't see, Michael, I couldn't see a frickin' word. I said, I have an idea, let's do this snake. And then I take it out, I say, oh my God, that's a very light print. Oh my God, there's no light. Between the light and the print, I'm saying, what the hell am I doing this for? But it wasn't bad, and you get the point. When I'm a president, and when I become your president, we're going to all work together, we're going to make it happen. We will get the illegal alien murderers, rapists, and child predators the hell out of our country, and we will not ever, ever, ever let them back in. So Nevada, get out and vote. We win this state, we're going to win the whole thing. We win this, we're going to win the whole thing. If we win this state, we win everything. And the people of Nevada also need to get out and vote for some really great people. And you have to vote against a really terrible, radical left senator named Jackie Rosen. She does a terrible job. We have running a man of the border, and I'm going to introduce you to him, but Jackie Rosen has voted with crooked Joe Biden nearly 100% of the time. She voted for every single inflation-causing spending bill, and she also voted for Joe Biden's open borders bill to set a minimum of 2 million illegal aliens per year. So can you imagine? They said this was a good bill, and that doesn't include the fly-ins, and it doesn't include all of the other people that get in. They come in through places that we wouldn't even believe. They go through Snake Mountain. Running against Wacky Jackie is an American hero named Sam Brown. Sam Brown. His wife is fantastic, also Amy. But Sam Brown has given up more than anybody who has ever run for the United States Senate. Remember that. He's given up more. He's given up more than anybody who's ever run for the United States Senate. He's a hero, too, a real brave person. Sam is a fearless patriot and Purple Heart recipient who served our country as a U.S. Army captain, totally respected in Afghanistan, where he was very severely wounded. But Sam survived, he persevered, he came back, he's stronger than ever. He's a great guy. I've gotten to know him well. He's a great guy. And I said to him tonight, Sam, I'm going to be the border president. You should be the border senator. And he said, I am. I actually am, because he believes us. And he is the border. Think of him when you vote. He's going to close up the border. She wants to leave your border open. He became a small businessman and a leader here in Nevada. And now he is going to fight for this state like nobody has ever fought before. Sam Brown will vote to secure our border, stop inflation, strengthen our military, defend religious liberty, and cut taxes like you have never heard. Because Sam Brown thinks of one thing and one thing alone. It's called America First. That's what he wants, and he told me that. And he's an incredible guy. And I want you to remember this, because look, I'll be back a few more times before the day, 53 days now. But I want you to remember this with Sam. He truly has. He's given up so much. Nobody's given up like he's given up so much. And he wants to do this because he loves our country. He fought for our country. Nobody's given up like he's given up so much. And Sam, I'd love to have you come up and say a few words, please. Sam Brown.
Nevada, we need the border president back. Because not only has Kamala Harris, as the borders are, failed America, but Jackie Rosen has failed America. She sits on the Homeland Security Committee. I know a little something about leadership. And leadership requires us to do the harder right rather than the easier wrong. And when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have asked Jackie Rosen to be quiet and to vote and support their policies against the better judgment and what is good for this country and this state, she has been a follower and not a leader. And I will be that leader. I tell you, I want to speak to you for a moment as a father. Amy and I have 3 children, school-age children. The crisis on the border. There has been over 320,000 unaccompanied children who have come into our country that this administration has lost accountability of. In the military, when you lose accountability, you are fired. We must, for the sake of these children. We must, for the sake of our communities. We must, for the sovereignty of this nation, secure our border, confront the cartel, and make America great again. Now, with respect, President Trump, 16 years ago, an enemy tried to take my life. Sir, I know what a warrior is. I know what it looks like when someone comes under fire and defiantly stands up in the face of that enemy and says, it is time to fight. Fight! Fight! I will fight for this country, both as a father and as a warrior. And I have seen a warrior's spirit in you that I have only ever seen on the battlefield. And I know that you have had the responsibility President Trump, you have had the sacred responsibility and honor of giving the highest awards our nation can give to people. And I just want to, as a token of appreciation from me, as someone who has been wounded for this country, just like you, to give you the thing that I can only offer out of my own heart and love for this country, appreciation and admiration for your leadership. My story that I hope inspires many to be a warrior like you. And here it is, a live day. Nevada, I've got you. We will be victorious in November, and President Trump will be the border president, and I will be the border senator. Let's win.
That was great. I'll tell you, you got to vote for him. You got to vote for him. Nobody's been through what he's been through. Nobody, ever, what he's been through. And he wants to put his life on the line again, and he wants to do it for you, and he's going to do it. And he's your border senator. He's going to be great. And she's the exact opposite. She's your open border. And you don't want open borders. You've had millions of people come in right here. They're coming in here more than any place else now because Texas has closed it up pretty well, but they've done nothing here. You got to get it. You got to get him in. I also want to thank you, Governor. Joe Lombardo has been fantastic to us. He's been great. And he's right now out in the wildfires in western Nevada, which are really taking a toll. But Joe's been great, and our prayers go out to every Nevada family, that every one of them that's been forced to evacuate due to these raging fires. They're raging. And we love you all. And Governor, we thank you very much. He's done a fantastic job. And another man who's doing a fantastic job, Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony. Stavros, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stavros. Thank you. Good man. Candidate for the 4th Congressional District, John Lee. John? John Lee. Good, John. I heard you're doing well. Good. Get out and vote. I heard you're doing really good. Candidate for the 3rd Congressional District, Drew Johnson. Good, good. Great honor to endorse you guys. I endorse them. Nevada GOP chairman, somebody that works like hell. He wants this so badly. He's never wanted anything so badly, other than his family, of course. Michael McDonald, great guy. We're going to win it, Michael? Going to win it? I think so. We do have a good lead, but we got to be careful because remember, they cheat like hell. It's the only thing they're good at. A man who's a friend of mine who writes the nicest things about me, and really a celebrity and just a great guy, Wayne Allen Root. Good man. A good man. And a brilliant young man who has always been with me no matter what. The good times, the bad times. You see him on television a lot. He's always talking about the border. It's a passion because he knows our country is being destroyed. Stephen Miller. He's here someplace. He's a great guy. Knows more about illegal immigration, I think, than anybody in history. He knows it, and he gets it. A man who's also been with me just about from the beginning. He's tough, he's smart, he loves our country, and he is a warrior, Kash Patel. Thank you, Kash. And Rick Harrison, where's Rick? Rick Harrison. Rick. Thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. We have another person here. I said, you have to get up there because he's, I love warriors, and this guy is really a warrior. Do not fight him under any circumstances. He won the Olympic gold medal, and he's the UFC and was the UFC champion numerous times, actually. And I wonder if I could take him. I'm a little larger than him. I wonder if I could take him in a fight. What do you think? You with the big hat. Could I take him in a fight? Henry? You know who I'm talking about? Henry Cenuno. Henry Cenuno. Come here. Come here. Henry Cenuno. Now, who thinks I can take Henry in a fight? I've got a little height on him, but he's got everything else. Come here. We love you, man. This guy is a winner. Here, say something.
Yeah, well, Mr. President, I'm just honored, and I think I would have just bent the knee. I would never fight you for what you do for our country and the fact that you were willing to risk your life, which you have no reason to do this, but you're doing this for the people. It means a lot. And as I told you before, President, I love this country so much, Mr. President, that I named my daughter America. And I appreciate what you've done, and I appreciate what you're doing, and let's continue to keep making America great again.
And he's got good hair, too. Look at that hair. Got no hair problem, right, Henry? None. Yeah, he's a great guy. Gold medal winner. Latin music superstar, Nicky Jam. Do you know Nicky? She's hot. Where is Nicky? Where is Nicky? Thank you, Nicky. Great to be having you here. Now you have to get, oh, look. Come here. Come here. I'm glad he came up.
It's an honor to me to meet you, Mr. President. People that come from where I come from, they don't meet the president, so I'm lucky. I'm gonna say this, but we need you. We need you back, right? We need you to be the president. And apart from that, I gotta say this in Spanish. Han pasado 4 años y no ha pasado nada. Necesitamos a Trump. Let's make America great again.
And we have all different kinds of stars than we did 10 years ago and 20 years ago. It used to be a little simpler. Now it's a whole different world, but the numbers they get are incredible. Bryce Hall is here, one of the biggest. Bryce, where's Bryce? Bryce Hall. Where are you, Bryce? Stand up, Bryce. Come on up here, Bryce. Get up here. Come on. What the hell? We have to have Bryce. He does an interview with people. Come on up if you want, Bryce. Come on. What the hell? We have a lot of time, right? Come on, Bryce. Look how young he is, how handsome he is. Come on up, Bryce. This guy has 44 million people watching him. And he's great. He's a great guy.
We need Trump back. Really bad. Make America great again.
And a while ago, a couple of years ago, a legend named Dana White called me. He said, would you do me a big favor? Would you do an interview with some guys, young guys? Who are they? He said, the Nelk Boys, the Nelk Boys. And I said, who the hell are they? I don't know. And I agreed to do it. And they were great. And the interview was aired. And we had like 200 million people. I said, who the hell are these guys? And now everybody knows who they are. The Nelk Boys, where are you guys? Where are you? You here someplace? Thank you, fellas. You want to come up? If you want, come up. Come up. Come on, get up here. Get up here. And while they're coming up, I want to introduce somebody that's been incredible. She was a very popular politician. Now she's this very popular period. She was the Democrat presidential candidate. She knocked the hell out of somebody named Comrade. You know that. Tulsi Gabbard is here, and her husband is here, Abraham. Thank you, Tulsi. Thank you very much, Tulsi.
We need Trump back, and we need him back bad. One more thing I know that's passionate about, Governor Tim Walz, he put a 95% tax on Zinn. We got to get that removed, President Trump.
Trump 2024, that's it. Let's fucking go.
These are young guys, but they have plenty of cash, I can tell you that. And they're great people. So, Comrade Kamala Harris is the most radical liberal nominee ever to seek the Oval Office. And you know, as just pointed out, and the real number is 325,000 migrant children are lost. They're being raped or they're being killed. A lot of them are no longer with us. They lost it during the last 3 years. 325,000 children, young children, think of it, never to see their parents again. They're either gone or they're in the service as slaves, sex slaves or slaves. And I just think it's terrible. You know, they talk about us like we're evil people. They lost 325,000 young kids. Think of what that means. Think of what that means. As Vice President Harris cast the tie-breaking votes that caused the worst inflation in American history, costing us and the typical family, $28,000. Think of that, $28,000. With me, it was the opposite, the exact opposite. Days ago, it was announced that we lost 438,000 full-time jobs in August. That's a record. We lost almost 500,000 jobs in August. You know, they like to go around saying how well they're doing. They're doing terribly. Inflation makes everything bad anyway. They had the highest ever. We lost 24,000 manufacturing jobs and nearly 6,000 auto manufacturing jobs. And I'll tell you what, the United Auto Workers, those guys are going to vote for me. Those guys and gals, they're going to vote for me. They're going to vote for me because the auto industry is moving to Mexico, it's moving to China, and it's moving to other parts of the world, but not the United States. China's building 2 massive auto plants in Mexico now, and they think they're going to build cars and put them into our country. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They've got authorization from Biden. You know why? Because they gave him a lot of cash. That's why. And nobody talks about it. Last month alone, American-born workers lost 1.3 million jobs as migrants gained 635,000 jobs in a single month. You know, the jobs, almost every single job was taken by a migrant worker. And black workers are losing their jobs to these people that are pouring into our country, and Hispanics are losing their jobs. And next will be unions. Unions are going to be losing all of their power, all of their clout. But the black worker and the black family, they're losing their jobs. Hispanics are losing their jobs to people that pour into our country illegally. Now Kamala is pushing the largest individual and small business tax increase in American history. And she said that a 70 to 80% tax rate is something that's very, very doable. It's a bold idea, she said, and it must be discussed. Now, she changed that a little bit, but with a politician, they always go back to their original thought. Harris and Biden waged war on American energy, opened up the Russian pipeline, Nord Stream 2, that I had closed, but shut down the Keystone XL pipeline that I had opened. She re-entered the horribly unfair to the United States, U.S. Paris Climate Accord. I wanted to be the Nevada Climate Accord, not the Paris. It's the most unfair document you've ever seen. And she has always said, I will ban fracking. And she has always said, I will defund the police. Anybody, you know, she was the head of the defund the police movement. Anybody that was with that scam for even a week is not fit to serve as the President of the United States. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person. These are categories, all categories, horrible categories, but she redefined them as, in all cases, non-violent crimes. Kamala supports states being able to take minor children and perform sex change operations on them without their parents' consent. Did you know that? Did you know that? Now she'll say, oh, no, I never said that, but we can put up the tapes anytime you want. I don't even want to show. They're so disgusting. I don't want to show them. Despite the false fact check by the fake moderators, those guys at ABC Fake News. In the debate this week, her running mate, Tampon Tim, who put tampons in young boys' bathrooms. He even signed a law that allows abortion in the 9th month. He says abortion in the 9th month and babies to be executed after birth. And that's right. And it's happened numerous times in the States and other states too. There are radical left states that allow that. Nobody wants to talk about it, but they allow that. Execution after birth. But from the moment we take back the White House from Comrade Kamala Harris, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in American history. We will defeat inflation quickly, and we will make America affordable again. We're getting your prices way down. We will make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. You know, I already had it above Russia and Saudi Arabia. Then we had a terrible result in a horrible election, an election where I got, remember, more votes than any sitting president ever by far, by millions. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any country in the world. Think of it. We are standing on more liquid gold under our feet than any country in the world, and we're going to use it. In 12 months, I will cut your energy costs in half, and that includes heating, air conditioning, electricity, and gasoline for your car. Right? As part of our efforts to increase housing affordability, I will work with your governor to open up new tracts of federal land for large-scale housing construction, and you'll get it for a much lower price. More than 80% of all land in Nevada is owned by the federal government. Governor Lombardo has sent 3 letters to the Biden-Harris administration.
Ignored no longer. We're going to open it up. We're going to open.
We'll start with a small portion. You'll get it going, and then we're going to open up large portions of land. We will create special new zones with ultra-low taxes and ultra-low regulations to allow the development of really extraordinary. But Kamala and Crooked Joe did not even have the decency to reply to those requests. Under the Trump administration, the pleas of Nevada will be ignored no longer. We're going to open it up. We're going to open. We'll start with a small portion. You'll get it going, and then we're going to open up large portions of land. We will create special new zones with ultra-low taxes and ultra-low regulations to allow the development of really extraordinary new housing at a proper price, while also bringing jobs and industries to Nevada, like the movie industry, the technology industry, and the massive manufacturing plants from foreign nations will be coming into your state, and that means jobs. And if I pull this off with the help of your governor, a lot of Hollywood will be moving from California, because right now you don't have the land, because you don't have the land. It's owned by the federal government. We're going to open up that land to you. You'll be able to build studio lots and everything else. Millions and millions of Americans will be able to take part in building these clean, safe, and beautiful new communities, reviving the frontier spirit and the American dream, something you don't hear much about anymore. It's going to be done right here in Nevada. Next, I will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower more than it has ever been before. We're going to bring back the car industry, too. We're going to bring back the car industry. And we're not going to let China and Mexico sell cars into the United States that are going to just take back our jobs. They're going to have to pay 100%, maybe a 200% tariff, because we don't want those cars. We want to make our own cars in our country. We'll do it better than them. Other countries that make us pay a tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. It will be called the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. In other words, if China or any other country charges us a 100, 200, or 300% tax, which they actually charge, then we will charge them a 100, 200, or 300% tax in return. Right now, we charge them nothing. My message is simple. Make your product here in America and only in America. That's what we wanted. My plan is that if you open your factory in Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, or anywhere else in the United States, you don't pay a tariff. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is pay the workers, and the workers are going to be you. But if you move your production outside of the United States and send it back here, you will have to pay a massive tariff, and we don't even want your product even if you pay it. We are going to very quickly supercharge our country. And when I'm back in that beautiful White House, we will pass larger tax cuts for workers. And we have a special tax that here is going to do, I think, quite well. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips. No tax on tips. Did you see when I announced that a long time ago, all of a sudden she announced it, and she was met with rebuke. And you know, they can't do it anyway because they have so much legislation in that make sure that you pay your tax on tips. And it didn't go over too well, but we are going to do it. We'll get it done fast. You know, they said they were going to cut the school lending when you borrow money to go to school. They were going to cut it. They were going to cut it down to nothing. Guess what? A big thud. Never happened. It never happened. You know why? Because they're all talk and no action. And you saw that the other night at the debate. She was all talk. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cut tax, and then I'm going to give you $25,000 for a house, and then I'm going to go, you know, over and over. And I said very simply at the end of my last little statement, why haven't you done it? You've been there for 3.5 years. Why haven't you done it? Right, Michael? Why haven't you done it, Michael? Right, Michael? Why haven't they done it? I said, we will leave this debate stage, which is just a waste of time anyway. I will go with you to Washington, and you can announce the closure of the border. You know, she doesn't need a bill. I didn't have a bill. I said, we're closing the border. We closed the border. And we had the greatest chart of all time. You want to put up that chart if you can find it, the border chart, my all-time favorite in the history of charts. Yeah, I love that chart. I'm going to sleep with that chart. That chart saved my life. Can you believe it? Just like that. I said, put up the chart. I went like that to look at it. Ping. That chart, think of it, illegal immigration saved my life. See that? That is the most beautiful document I've ever seen. But you see the arrow on the bottom? That's when I left office. That's the lowest point in the history of our country for illegal immigrants to come in, but also drugs and everything else that was coming in bad. That point is the lowest, and then as soon as they took over, look, it became a rocket ship. Look at that, like a rocket ship, and our country was destroyed. We had it under control. That's the lowest point in the history. That was done by Border Patrol, that chart. But regardless of the numbers, I love that chart. I'm sorry. Additionally, I will fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. And we will have no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. No tax on Social Security. And then we wheeled out a great one, and I actually think this is going to be fantastic for the country as well as the worker, because a lot of people are going to be working overtime. And just yesterday I announced that there will be no taxes on overtime. No taxes on overtime. We will terminate the Green New Scam. I call it the Green New Scam, Green New Deal, Green New Scam. It's the greatest scam. You know what they're going to spend? $97 trillion. Where are they going to get that money? That's more money than every country in the world has. It's a scam. They were going to spend $97 trillion. And you know, the time is coming up. Remember, they said we only have 12 years to live because the environment is going to kill us, right? That time is very close. Somehow I'm not worried. I am worried about nuclear because, to be honest with you, we have incompetent people dealing on it. You're going to end up in World War III. You're going to have a nuclear holocaust if we're not careful. These people have no idea. Our people have no idea what they're doing. And I will keep you out of World War III. I'm the only one that's going to be able to do it. But we're going to spend all of that Green New Scam money on roads and bridges and real infrastructure and paying down debt. We're going to pay down debt. And you know, we're going to have growth like this country has never seen before. We're going to get that debt way down. We're going to get your interest rates way down so you can buy the house. You can have the American dream. I had interest rates at 2%. And now they're 10% and you can't get the money. You can't pay the money anyway, too expensive. But you can't get the money. We're not going to have fake infrastructure that's caused massive inflation. You know, the Inflation Reduction Act, which is a fake deal, they actually said about 6 months ago they never expected it to do anything for inflation. It was a scam to get more money for the environment. So listen to this, very important, I think. You haven't heard the word environment in 7 months. You know why? It doesn't play. It doesn't play. We want clean air, we want crystal clear water, beautiful water, and we want an unbelievable country, and we want an economy that's better than it's ever been before. The environment isn't playing. They don't mention it anymore. You know, with all the money they spent, wasted on all this nonsense that they did, the apartment, your windows have to be smaller, preferably don't have any windows at all. They showed me a building, an ideal building. I said, what is that? Is it a bunker? No, this is a building. It's a modern building. It had no windows. Let's try selling one of those apartments. You have not small windows. You had no windows. Because it's good. The sunlight doesn't go through, okay? Look, she's laughing. That's crazy, isn't it? I don't know if you're laughing or crying. I'm sort of crying about it. It's crazy. These people are crazy. We want a new building, and they want to knock down all those beautiful buildings in Manhattan and rebuild them with no windows. We don't want one building in Manhattan. I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will settle the war in Ukraine as president-elect. And remember this, a vote for Comrade Kamala Harris is a vote for war with Russia. Would anybody like to be in war with Russia? If necessary, we would. We're not, you know, but preferably not, right? Don't you think? It's also a vote to bring back the draft. Would anybody like to be drafted in the audience? Because that's what they're doing. She's already talking about bringing back the draft. She wants to bring back the draft and draft your child and put them in a war that should never have happened. Remember, Russia would have never attacked Ukraine, ever, and didn't for 4 years. And remember this, when Bush was president, he gave up a lot to Russia. When Barack Hussein Obama was president, gave up a lot to Russia. When Biden was president, going to give up the whole thing to Russia, it looks like. But when Trump was president, he gave up nothing to Russia, zero. I gave up nothing. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. And a vote for Comrade Kamala Harris is a vote to obliterate Israel and fast. Israel is going to be blown off the face of the earth if she becomes the President of the United States. I hate to say it. I've always backed Israel. They will not have a chance if she went to a party instead when your prime minister came to the United States and spoke before Congress, which is a big event. She went to a sorority party instead. She found that more important. Ready? Israel will be blown off the face of the earth. It will not exist if she becomes President of the United States. If I become President of the United States, it will go on to glory. But if she becomes President, it will be obliterated. Just remember I said it. A vote for President Donald J. Trump is a vote for prosperity and peace. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., which is a mess, with graffiti all over our beautiful marble buildings, with roads that have potholes all over and medians that are falling down into the gutter. We're going to make those cities safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. We're losing it fast. Nobody else will be able to do that. We're already missing so many. Russia's gone. China essentially is gone. China's the one that wants to take it. North Korea's gone. They're all getting out. But with me, it's different. I'm going to say, you know what? You want to get out? Yes, we decided to get out. We're going to go with Russia. We're going to go with China. I said, that's okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a 250% tariff on anything you sell us in this country. And you know what they're going to do? Sir, we've decided that we want to stay in your currency, sir. We're going to stay in your currency. It won't happen. It won't happen. Just like Mexico gave us all those soldiers at our border. Everyone said, you could never get that. I got it. 28,000 soldiers, Cash, right? We got 28,000 soldiers to protect our border while we were building the wall. And we got a lot of other things, too. I could go over them. I could speak all night long about what we got. What we're going to get is the greatest country in the history of the world. We're going to bring it back. And just in closing, this is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. Very simple, isn't it? I saw the other night on television a woman went up to the grocery store and put on the counter 3 apples. And then she realized she didn't have enough money for that, and she took one of the apples back. I said, that should never happen in our country. We're not going to let it happen in our country. While other people get rich, and while illegal migrants are staying in luxury hotels, and our soldiers, our vets, are sleeping on the streets at the base of those hotels, and they're up in luxury rooms, and they came into our country illegally, and many of them are very bad people. We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, support our police, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield, and a lot of it is going to be built in Nevada. We will keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I don't know if you saw the Olympics a couple of weeks ago. A beautiful young Italian boxer, female boxer, and supposed to be very good. And she was fighting a young gentleman or a young woman. You always have to be careful. You know, your political career could end immediately with the wrong statement. So I'll say one of each. But she was fighting a person who was a man and transitioned into womanhood. And he looked like if Muhammad Ali in his prime saw him, Muhammad would be afraid. And the fight began, and they're standing. Henry would know this better than anybody, but they were standing up, and a left jab It's just sort of defense, left jab, left jab. And he hit her with a left jab, and she was, oh my, what? She got hit like a horse. She said, somebody hit me, it was a horse. And then she said, I'll try it again. And she went up, and he hit her again with just a left jab. And she said, nope, I'm not going to do it. He ended up winning the gold medal. Went through the boxers like nothing. There were two people in women's boxing that transitioned. Both of them happened to win a gold medal. Are you surprised? Are you surprised by that? Are you surprised? No, I'm not either, right? I'm not surprised. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. We're going to have to secure our elections because they cheat so badly. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day we will be filled, you know the word they used, with joy. So I'm not going to use that word if you don't mind. But opportunity and hope, we're going to be filled with ambition. We're going to go out and love getting up every morning and going to work and making a lot of money. But for that to happen, we must defeat Comrade Kamala Harris, a radical left lunatic. And we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. If they get in, we're never going to be able to turn this country around. It's going to be Venezuela on steroids. You're never going to be able to do it. So get everyone you know to vote. We want a landslide that is too big to rig, too big to rig. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders like they have not been restored in a long time. We will put America first, and we will take back our country. Together we will make America powerful again. Make America wealthy again. Make America healthy again. Make America strong again. Make America proud again. Make America safe again. Make America free again. We will make America great again. Thank you very much, Nevada. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, it's 12:12 here on the East Coast. The man can talk. The man has unbelievable energy. Like I've said many times, if he can do this, if he can fly across the country, albeit he's got a fantastic jet, but nonetheless, he's 78 years old. Going through different time zones at his age, even though the pressurization and everything is fine in that big jet, it's still a 78-year-old man who seems to have energy out the wazoo. Unbelievable. He did two events today, one in LA and one here in Vegas. Everybody is saying in the chat, I heard it a number of times, that he didn't drop the big news. Now, I also understand from some other people that there might have been something going on before the event. Don't know, not at liberty to say. Understand, there's probably all kinds of threats that this guy has to deal with, and maybe he just couldn't say it. Maybe he planned on saying something, and they said, now's not the time. I don't know. It's basically conjecture. I don't know why he didn't drop the big news, whatever it was. But in any event, he did put on a great event. He did speak and have a great speech, fired up that crowd. He does something that Kamala Harris couldn't possibly do. There's no way. She goes to Charlotte and talks for like 20 minutes and basically off the stage. It's so funny that he mentioned that interview that I showed you when we first went live this evening. Seems like yesterday. When we first went live yesterday, when she couldn't even answer the questions from the local ABC guy. Just want to let you guys know, I don't hit the button and go to sleep. I'm sitting here, I'm clicking the button here. Look, let me show you what I mean. Like when you see those comments come up, that's me clicking the button and putting them up there. So I'm reading as much as I can. I'm talking to some of the moderators. I'm talking to some of the guests here, and just basically talking about everything that we're seeing and what's going on. and trying to basically keep everything on an even keel, keep it going. And I'm not sleeping, but I will be sleeping very shortly. And I'm going to be sleeping in late, so don't go texting me or emailing me about 9 o'clock in the morning, because I'll be sleeping. I'm talking a lot of crap because that little chihuahua starts tapping me on the shoulder at about 5:30. Dad, we gotta go take care of business. Every single morning of my life, my little 14-pound chihuahua decides he needs to go out at 5:30 in the morning. Almost military. So tonight is 12:12. By the time I get out of here, unwind, chill, maybe grab something to eat. Probably won't hit the sack until 2 o'clock. The wife's already done. She's capped out already, I think. I thank every single one of you for staying here and watching this. And I appreciate everything you say. Nice, kind words. You guys are what make me continue to do this and push through and give as much. Today they made me earn my money. I don't know what the heck was going on. I mean, I had 3 different feeds working. I've got a feed coming off my laptop, I have a feed coming off of this monitor, and I have a feed coming off of that monitor, and all of a sudden stuff started looking like max headroom, and the voices weren't matching. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? The feed would drop. It's just go. Trust me, I'm not sleeping. I'm back here trying to make sure that this thing continues to work. I felt like a Hollywood producer today, hitting all kinds of buttons and making sure what was going on. So I'm not sleeping. Now, let's see here. Neil says, sleep tight. People were texting me, sleep tight. Yeah, I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. What I got to do right now, because I have to do it, because I want to do it, is I never want to take for granted that anything that you guys do for this channel, and that means including the donations that you make that allow me to continue to do these things. It really makes a lot of difference. So let me go ahead and acknowledge everybody who, first of all, everybody who watched. That's a donation as well. Every single one of you that watch this channel allows me to continue doing it. And then I'm going to go through the actual donations here. What? Oh, I don't know what she's saying. Anyway, all right, Anthony Solomon, thank you. Thanks for the 3rd show today. Yep, we did 3. Demon of Cyberton, your intro is the best. Thank you very much. Miss Fabulous, it would be so cool if our Trump would use Barry's intro at the rallies. Yeah, I'd love that. Call me. Call my people. I'll call your people. Deborah, thank you very much. Joanne Hawkins, love your show, Barry. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Steve Harmon, Barry, love watching these Trump rallies alongside you. You're the man. We all count on you to bring us the truth and point out the lies the Dems continue to spew. And the media, which I guess are one and the same. Lisa Burke, she's alluding to the broken home syndrome. Now she wants to compare herself to J.D. Vance, really. Angel Melendez, Barry, this is so funny. She's a joke. So these are people talking about what happened 2.5 hours ago when we were going over Kamala's interview, when she was like talking about when she was a kid, and rewind it. It's crazy. I thought there was always the child tax credit for the first year of life. She wants to raise the amount, which is the exact same thing J.D. Vance said months ago. So everything she's doing is stealing from someone else's idea. Hi, Victoria. Criminals do not buy weapons at places where background checks would be made. You'll be defenseless, your family a target, fish in a barrel. Yeah, it's funny they don't say that, right? Well, we want to do background checks and we want to do this and that. Are you doing it on the Haitians? Are you doing it on the Tres Leches gang from Venezuela? Are you doing it on them? Because you don't even know who they are. You're just dumping these people into America. Mauser Cat, would it be appropriate to ask a victim of crime their politics? Not sure what you mean. Lisa, $25K for a home and $15K for a year for unrealized capital gains tax. I'm sorry, what's she giving me? No, you're just gonna have to pay, because you got to pay your fair share. And like I've told you many times, there is no definition of fair share. They'll decide how much they need to take from you. Patriots Craze, thank you. Sheila Marie. Square Biz, did you have a couple albums back in the 80s? Sheila Marie says, Barry Trump should call Kamala out for being a supporter of women when newcomers are doing bad things to women and young girls. Thank you. That's so true. Seaballer, yeah, she's a family person. What about the hundreds of thousands of missing children who are away from their families? As I said earlier in the video, earlier this afternoon or this evening, whichever one it was, nobody wants to talk about that. No one in the media dares speak of that. Trump's mentioning it now. It's part of his speech. He's inserted it. He is bringing notoriety to it. He's letting people know, we got a problem. These kids are disappearing. And the more he talks about it, he's pointing out the silence of the media. In the debate, they didn't mention it. Now that he's been talking about it in speeches, they'll talk about all kinds of things he said tonight, but they won't talk about that. That should tell you something. That should tell you who's under the microscope at this point. Holly, thank you. Keep it up, Barry. So glad we found your channel. I am glad you found it. MAGA may have Springfield, Ohio is real wake up. Watch Tucker and MK today. Okay, we'll do. Michelle, how are you? Barry, I wish Trump would do something to make adoption cheaper. It's crazy and immoral that murdering is easier and cheaper than providing them with loving homes. I have to watch what I say here because those guys upstairs will get mad. Kat Zergoth, thank you very much. Lisa Burke, thank you again. 24 minutes ago, Trump landed headed to the rail. So we're still talking early in the evening. What's the difference between a bowling ball and Kamala Harris? I can't finish saying the rest of that. John Parr, my dogs would love to munch on some newcomers. Bob Kremians, I'm a 46-year-old single full-time job. I work every day in a rehab center in Minneapolis, and I'll never be a homeowner. I just can't afford it. I hope the no tax on tips and on overtime works out. Never say never, brother. Never say never. If you're working, you've been there for a few years, there's a way to buy a home. John Aguirre, thank you. Edward Griffin, very love your commentary. You were spot on and one cool dude. Thank you, man. Best wishes to you. Robin, my wife's name is Robin as well. Yes. And your double OG Chihuahua. Oh, and Kamala Harris and the horse milkshake guy, Tim Walsh. Angie Randall, thank you. John Aguirre, thank you. Trump support growing mainstream is lying. Bruce Marburger, thank you. Paul, thank you. Snoop de Jure. I love that handle. Kamala won't win businesses over because she does know how a business works. Nope, not at all. Paul, I think hashtag means the Pennsylvania judgment. That could have been it. That very well could have been it. Pennsylvania judgment that Paul is referring to is they can't fudge the ballot. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court came out and slapped that down. Bill Ebert, Barry, please let me know if Trump comes to Aurora. I'd like to go with my wife. We love your show. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. I can tell you right now he's got 3 rallies next week. So we're going to have a busy week next week. So make sure you're in here watching these rallies. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but there's, as of today, there's 3. They'll probably add more. Would you lead us in a short prayer? Yes, I'll do that at the end, okay? Ashley Lynn, have you seen Kamala's new interview? Yep, it was posted at the beginning of this video. Amelia Maramontes, thank you. Norm Schiffer, President Trump, 47 wins. Thank Barry. Mike McCarthy, Barry sound is fine. Remember, we have a year of listening to Kamala. This is so much better. Jonathan Bolden, thank you very much. Make consequences happen in America again. Otherwise, the rule of law that all civility is founded upon means nothing and no one is safe. Norm Schiffer, great show, Barry. We can always count on President Trump to bring a crowd. Yes, you can. Barry needs to be press secretary. Jade Slade is. No, I don't want anywhere near the White House. Talis Spinney, Kamala says she is not just a leftist. She uses her right hand. Oh, you dirty, Ryan. No, Ryan, that was Talis. Ryan says Trump is bringing the heat tonight. He surely was. Robert Bean, thank you, Barry, for everything you do. Always bringing the latest updates in these amazing videos. You and your family are true patriots. Much love and respect. I try to bring a perspective, which is basically what I'm seeing. I know there's news out there. There's other YouTube channels. You can find whatever you want. There's people who do it. But I'm not just here to do, quote, reaction videos. I want to give you my perspective, what I think is happening, why it's happening. And we're going to start doing a lot more interviews as well. Ashley's working with me, and so we're gonna get some interviews. Lloyd B, thank you for all you do, Barry. Thank you. John Zeller, thank you. A.M. Jimenez, Kamala is bringing in the snakes. Unfortunately, I fear they are hiding, waiting to strike us in November. Stay frosty, lock and load. Watch your six. All the little cliches, start doing them. Big Cat, thank you, Barry. Group, yes. RBI Sports, hello Nevada, 36th state and battle-born. Please come home again to make America great again. I swear I'm not crying, it's the onion I'm cutting. Jeremiah, make sure when you vote for Trump, you don't leave the ballot box for POTUS. Don't stop there, all the way down. Colin Richmond, thank you, Barry. Thank you, Colin. John Halstead, Basement Creations for Rhonda, thank you very much. Barry, which do you recommend and why? Vote by mail or in person on Election Day. We historically vote on the day and don't trust USPS to get our ballots there. I know they've been saying they want people to go ahead and vote early. Personally, my wife and I actually go, so I guess it's not a matter of preference. I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Jocelyn Carter, thank you. I live in Maryland. Larry Hogan is the rhino running for senator. I don't want to vote for him. Should I write in? Jesus Christ. Yeah. Maryland's tough, and Larry Hogan is still better than the Democrat. You know, lesser of two evils is still better than the Democrat. Severo Flores, thank you. Barry, you've been casting your net far and wide with this platform. California Hispanic, former Democrat, standing with you, and everyone here, thank you. Mimi, love your channel. I've given up watching primetime TV. Trump 2024, thank you for bringing the light to the truth. I try to do a show at least every night at 7 p.m. and then during the day if something happens, and of course the rallies and press conferences. Barry, thank you for the late show. It's late, yes it is, but thank you. Fume Drummer, Trump, it's Friday night. We have all the time in the road. Barry, what WTF, it's getting late. Getting late. It's 12:30, and we're still rocking. Joe Brandon, what's up? Draft me. Joe, you were thinking I was sleeping. I saw your comments. You thought I had gone to sleep up in here. No, I'm here. Rona, thank you for your time, Barry. Thank you for watching. You have the best platform. Keep up the great work, and God bless you. God bless you as well. Bruce, thank you. I don't know all the letters there. Remember the 27 Biden clip where he promised parents that if he were president, he wouldn't leave all the billions of weapons in Afghanistan, which he absolutely did. Dave M., nope, no big announcement. I may make a video tomorrow when I stumble out of bed and figure out what happened and why he didn't make that video. Barry, start a Rumble stream to speak openly. Well, I'm going to start putting videos on Twitter/X because over there you can pretty much say what you want. I'm going to sneeze. And so somebody said, you know, can I finish this off and lead us in prayer? I am not a pastor. JJ is a pastor. I just try to facilitate when he's on. If you guys weren't at our prayer night last night, it was amazing. 100 people, over 100 people got saved. But I was asked to just lead something in prayer as we take it out. So I'm going to do my best. I don't know how it's going to sound, but dear Lord, please help us elect Donald Trump. Please help America survive. Please help Americans thrive. Please help anyone who's got any affliction that need to be touched and helped right now. Give everybody the strength, encouragement, and will to get out there and fight for this country and fight for what's ever important in their lives. Ask people to be touched by the Holy Spirit so you can get done what you need to get done. Every single one of us needs to understand we should reach out to the Holy Spirit, and that is right there for us. All you got to do is ask. You just got to ask for that help and that inspiration, and then just bless all those, including our enemies. I think it's important for us to do that and make sure that we know that we're blessing those who have ill will towards us. Make that just be, as my wife has told me, as a heaping coal rock on their head as we bless them as well. And I bless every one of you who tuned in tonight, and I thank you very much for that. Y'all go ahead, get some sleep. We'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Watch some football. I'll play with the dog, kiss the wife. I want you guys to do the same. Thank every one of you for tuning in. Talk to you tomorrow.